I'm Shane.
And I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back.
To a brand new ball game.
Brand new season?
So yeah, we've kept this
Season 2?
kept this under wraps. Not been telling anybody that we were going to make this change. It was a little bit. We've been knowing we need to make some changes. we
talk too
we are
much.
aware it's been too long,
Yeah.
guys. We are not immune to seeing 3 hours and being like, okay,
Like, that's a bit much. We talk a lot.
But like we said in our like mini-sode and maybe even in the reunion, the celebration episode, we are now just getting more comfortable. We're aware we're getting comfortable with talking and being our own personality,
being ourselves.
and so with that being said, we also know we need to make some other changes to fix other parts of this. Because again, if we do video, we can't have a 3 hour. Like we'll be shooting this from a phone. We're not going to be doing anything crazy here.
High.
So,
no, we went and bought the $10,000 high speed, high def fucking camera.
And so I just don't know how well my phone can handle a 3 hour recording session.
No, probably not.
So it's just one of those things. We
Buy
are
an external hard drive thing, a little extra memory.
I think I can handle the space. I don't know if the heat. 3 hours with the camera footage shooting
probably
is a lot. It's
really hot.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of processing there.
Shane, your phone's starting to glow.
Yeah. So we are very aware that we have to make some changes. So today is the first one of our new season.
First day of the rest of our lives.
The new changes. We'll see. Maybe at this point it'll even just be a thing. Like every year we'll start a new season.
Try and do something
and we'll
new.
try to do something. Well, I don't know. We don't know. We're also new year, new leaf, new face. We're also not going to make these promises like we have a problem of doing sometimes.
Hey, man, the less a man makes declarative statements, the less likely he is to be made a fool of in retrospect.
Sure. I agree with that 100% because we definitely have had a bad habit of saying we're going to do this or we're going to do that and not been able to
pull it off.
We just need to. Things will naturally evolve how they evolve.
Things might or might not happen depending on the wheel of fate.
We just got to go with it.
Got to roll that fucking dice. We're getting existential here.
So I guess before we get into everything, we'll go ahead and just tell you some of these changes. So the first change is just going to be we're not doing a scene for scene anymore.
No.
Like we said, we've both gotten more comfortable, in how we talk, the ums and the yas and the idiosyncrasies that we have, we're getting a little bit more comfortable with.
You'd be surprised how hard it is to adapt talking into a microphone.
And so, having notes, it was one of those things that really helps. And doing the scene by scene helps. Like it in the beginning, it definitely made it easier to not have them because we were going off very specific things that we were wanting to. Yeah. Now we've gotten a lot more comfortable with who we are and talking and being our personality. So the problem is when you do scene for scene and you're also trying to make sure you
makes it really long.
It makes it really long because you're like, well,
plus we go off on tangents and other fucking shit.
We'll be like, this is what we think, and then we'll be like, and then this is what happened, and then this is what we think about what happened, and so it got very convoluted. You can't do both. You got to pick a lane. And now that we're more comfortable, we decided our lane will be. We're just going to start talking to you guys about the movies. We got some feedback, both publicly and privately, from people. You guys liked the laid back attitude from the little mini clip that we uploaded. And so we're going to do that. We're not immune to this. We understand.
Constantly evolving. If
That's
you
right.
don't evolve, you stagnate and die.
It's just normally we've done small evolutions, and now we're just going to, the new season is all about a lot of big changes all at once.
Yep.
So one of the next changes is, we're not going to do, and again, this is more of this hurts us, right? Like you guys, if you've ever listened to the show, you know how much we enjoy doing this, but we also are aware it's 20 minutes.
It takes a long time for us to do it because we're dicking around.
Yes. So we are no longer going to do the full social
media stuff. You know
where
to find us at this point.
And if you don't, it is in the video description or the podcast info. You can find it.
Yeah,
we make sure it's linked everywhere. So you can definitely find it.
Simple search.
That's not to say we're not going to mention some of this stuff every now and then. Lord knows we can't give up talking about YouTube and the KFC Riddicks. It's where our mascot comes
lives.
from.
The Riddick
Riddick
Rat.
Rat is here because of it. But we're just not going to talk about it all the time. So now you probably will only hear about the YouTube stuff specifically if we have a big milestone that we need to mention there.
Yeah, like we've switched to video.
Yeah, email if we have something new that we want you guys to maybe give us information about. We'll probably drop the email.
Or if we're doing
there.
another poll.
Yeah. Well, there are times that we might drop these specifically.
We'll let you know.
But we're not going to do the full rigmarole, the spiel.
I don't dance anymore. My spine can't take it.
So let's all take a moment. Remember yesteryear.
I will remember you.
Don't make him cry, Bo.
Sorry.
Don't make him think about the dogs.
No Sarah
and the cats.
McLachlan.
Yeah, no, don't make him think about the dogs and the
Probably
cats.
get freaking tagged or red flagged or whatever the fuck it is for that half-second clip of that.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. So we're gonna make that shift. It feels weird already. I don't even know what to do. I was about to be like, so let's go ahead and get the socials, but we don't.
We can go straight into the beer and the movie, I think.
Yeah, and so that leads us into another one.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. That does help me.
I did help. I'm useful. See, I'm
that.
not just the comic relief.
The other thing that we're gonna make a little bit different. Again, we're still gonna be finding our drinks to go with our movies.
But you guys don't have to try and guess. We're just going to tell you.
We're going to tell you.
Yeah.
You
can watch it before we talk about it.
This one wasn't even a fans told us. Again, we thought it was always a lot of fun because it was part of, if you listen to the mini-sode, you heard some of the behind the scenes.
The evolution of our thought process.
And so, originally this was just going to be a game between the two of us. He was going to guess mine. I was going to guess his. And we just kind of wanted to keep it in. And we thought it would be great for interaction on social media.
Yeah.
It has not been. It's not been, but it's not been.
We have a few loyal players.
But they're also not consistent. And you're not consistent enough to make it.
It does make it hard to watch the movie.
And again, that's been a complaint from day one.
People. Yeah, they're like, well, how am I supposed to? I'm like, yeah,
I
gotta be a dick and be like, well, you could have guessed.
I got family. That are like, you're not gonna just tell me.
No,
me and the kids want to watch what you guys, and it's like, oh, you got to bring the kids.
Yeah,
into
it make me feel bad.
Okay,
fine.
So we're gonna crack. We're gonna start telling you guys.
It was a good year of it, man.
It was. We had fun,
but the drinks will still match up.
Well, and again, we're coming off of doing our anniversary special episode, and then all the other poll episodes, right? So we're coming off of 3 already where we had been telling you, and we saw extra people interacting with us, that they were excited that we were doing it. Yeah. It's fun to get to talk to people again in our personal lives, because me and Bo are that kind of dick that we both were always just telling people, nope. Sorry. You can wait.
You gotta guess.
Yeah, I can go ahead and tell you what drink I'm doing.
Yeah, I can tell you the drink. Oh. People don't like that as much as I thought they would.
No, it's not as fun. There's for every 10 people, one person thinks that's a fun idea, and everybody else is kind of like, just tell me.
There's one girl at work who was really good at it.
Well,
everyone, she'd just be like, bam, and she'd get it. I'm like, damn.
You've seen on social media my friend Terry. He's usually the dude. He nails them because, again, me and him have watched so many movies together, so he just knows.
Just puts it all together immediately.
And so, obviously, he's the kind of guy that had a lot of fun with it because... But again, he knew. He knows me, and he knows the kind of movies I watch.
He's got an edge on everybody else. That's not fair.
He's probably watched those with me.
That's not fair at all.
And so again, I understand how the fun is maybe not there when we do this, and if you're not inside our heads, you can't make the leap.
You don't want to get in there. It's a bad place.
So, yeah, from now on, we're just going to be telling you. So that means that right now, as we're saying this, you already know. So it's not like it's been a secret. So we'll just jump right into it. We're going to be drinking. I'm not stealing this from Bo.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep doing it.
We're not changing everything.
This one's great because this is from our hometown brewery, Sawstone Brewing Company. And on top of that, they celebrated their 5th year anniversary not that long ago. We were there for it. It was a fun party.
We picked up these fancy glasses that you'll see in one of the pictures.
I love this cup.
But it's a beautiful, wide mouth. Again, don't sue me. You guys know we're not beer people. I didn't do my research on
it has a name.
It definitely has a name. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say though, if this is a glass that's not supposed to be used for this kind of beer, don't come at us. We only did this because it's the anniversary glass.
It even says it on it. It says 5th year anniversary.
Yeah. That's why we did it. We got these at the anniversary. We're doing their beer because it was anniversary.
We got to celebrate our people down at the Sawstone.
So
right?
we were
we're
there.
Drinking the porter today, nice and dark and chocolatey coffee.
That's right.
Awesome.
We were there and we saw this, and I told Bo I've got a perfect idea for this one, and so that's where this movie came from. Again, it's not a surprise. You guys have seen it. This is like getting used to like.
Yeah, we got to get used to not being like, oh, tease.
Well, we did Porter because it's a great segue into Four Rooms, which is a
movie about a porter
or
a bellhop, bellboy.
Bellboy, I think, is what they say in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, bellhop, porter, they're all the same thing. It's the person who carries your luggage to the room. And so we figured porter was a great way to get there. This is a great movie. It's a movie. I feel like I say this way too much because I'm that kind of junkie with fucking movies. But I seen this way too young. Close to when it came out. Probably not the year it came out, but really close.
I mean, you had cable like Showtime and shit like that. Of course you were going to see some weird fucking movies.
And this is a movie, though, I feel like a lot of people haven't seen, which is kind of crazy because of the cast involved. It's huge.
And the directors.
And and that's I was gonna say, and it's a gimmick on the directors, right? Yeah. Like, that's the other thing. Like, so it's 4 rooms. It's like we said, it's about a bellboy. It's his first day at work, and he is going to be taking care of 4 rooms specifically that we see, right? Yeah. Like these are the troublesome rooms.
These are the interesting rooms in the hotel.
And so each room is directed by a different person. That's part of the gimmick. And written. They're written and directed by the same person.
They're all shot different. It's fantastic.
And so it's a really cool concept, I thought, but apparently this did not go over well with a lot of critics.
When you told me about it, I was like, oh, that's interesting as fuck. I am in.
I love it. And I think it's great.
Who doesn't like a Tarantino or
that's what I was gonna say. We've not got
Robert Rodriguez
movie.
We
got Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. Those are our big 2. We also have, give me 1 second, Allison Anders and Alexandre Rockwell. Those are our other 2 directors. They are, and again, you can come at us for this. I'm not even gonna tell you don't come at us.
Come at me.
We're not director people.
I've never heard of these people.
We've been going against who we are by trying to learning look up more. All this. And I'm not saying I won't learn more, but I'm not trying to learn the full history
of every
director.
Spielberg.
I'm just trying to I'm trying to get more into where I just do at least find out who it is. Maybe not doing the deep dive every time, right?
At least see what else they've done.
Yeah, but this time I kind of kept it real loose because we have so many, right? The same reason.
4.
Same reason why.
There's supposed to be 5.
There were originally going to be 5. It was originally going to be 5 rooms. This movie, just like there's so many directors that I'm not even going to worry about doing it deep. Again, we don't need to tell you who Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino are.
Don't.
The only one that I will mention specifically about Robert Rodriguez, because generally speaking, a lot of adults, when they think of him, unless they are probably closer to your age and younger, because for me, it wasn't a thing I knew immediately, is Spy Kids.
Yeah.
And the main reason I want to point that out is because if you don't know that he is the director / creator of Spy Kids, you need to know that now, because his story in this is very connected. Like, you feel very Spy Kids-ish from it.
It's the 2 kids look like they're just super younger versions of the Spy Kids kids.
It's a really good. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
wait for it.
It is one of those things, though. There are so many actors in this movie, just like directors, that we don't need to get into everybody. Going forward, again, we're making changes. I don't know if we'll still do our rundowns in the beginnings, or if we'll move back to how we technically did it in the beginning, which is just when we get to people, if we feel like stopping, we'll stop and say some stuff.
If we remember to recognize them.
Exactly. I think that kind of is important, right? If we're drinking and it's important enough to remember, then maybe that means it was important enough to remember. So maybe we don't need that. That's kind of the feeling I've been leaning to, right? Now, that being said, we do have to at least mention one. We'll always mention the main character, the person who
the whole
we follow
story
the
is
most.
about.
Yeah. And for this movie, you can go ahead.
It's Tim Roth.
I know you've been so excited.
It's Mr. Orange from Reservoir Dogs. I was so happy.
And the only reason we want to bring that up is because he is our bellboy. He is Ted.
Ted the bellboy.
Ted the bellboy. It's his first day of work.
He just started.
Before we really move into anything else, I do want to mention a random piece of trivia that I found out, which is that apparently this was written for Steve Buscemi to be Ted.
It would have been a different movie, but it still probably would have been good.
It would have been way different because I don't know. Again, I love the way he pulls off the character of Ted in this movie because it feels much like they reference in the movie itself, like
a Jerry Lewis movie
doing the Bellboy.
Yeah,
or
I wrote that in my
or
notes.
even like a Charlie Chaplin, because there's several
Jimmy Stewart, maybe.
There's several moments where he just does silent, like in the very beginning, like the opening, he does not say a word, and it's all just like weird
body movements.
And again, I know they reference it Tarantino style in the movie that is the Jerry Lewis movie, the Bellboy. He's silent in that movie.
Yeah,
he says.
It's all body, and it's so great.
But again, it's just something more about his movements as Ted that feel so much more Chaplin or Buster Keaton.
Oh, I love Buster Keaton.
Right? You know what I mean? Like the weird little like shakes that he gives and stuff.
Head bobs and things.
Something about the way I don't know. I can't even say anymore.
It's probably what he did. He probably just sat down, watched a bunch of fucking old school like silent films and
if
shit.
He did, kudos to him.
Because you know Tarantino was like, all right, here's your homework. Gave him like a stack of movies to watch. I want you to be this guy. Find a way to be him.
Well, like I said, if Roth did, kudos to him, because again, he pulls it off very well.
He really does.
That is the only person we needed to talk about for sure before we just go ahead and just roll into this. Like we said, that we're not going to be doing scene for scene, so instead of doing that, the first thing I just want to talk about, not necessarily music, because I guess the music hits about the same time the animation does, right?
They're almost because they're doing that.
It's gibberish, right? This was so fun. It was like improvised gibberish,
but it's catchy as fuck.
Scat.
It's gonna get stuck in your head. You're just gonna be sitting there like,
it does for something that's complete gibberish. It will be ingrained in your head. It is so much fun.
Yeah, we get it at the beginning and end of the movie.
Yes.
So if you had forgotten about it by the time the movie ends, there it is again to go home with.
And then while we're hearing the music is the best part, right? Because we see this beautiful little animation, this cartoon that starts with
the Reservoir Dog guys. They're walking up. They got the guns and the sunglasses and shit. They're all looking all cool, right?
Because this is
Mr. Orange.
Love the nod.
Because you love Tarantino.
Subtle
you
nod.
love Tarantino for shit like that,
yeah,
right?
because it's one of his production companies. It's like his first one. He partnered with somebody else.
And then it just one of the guys pushes everybody out of the way and then unzips, and he's
the cartoon morphs into
bellhop.
Yes, our bellhop. It's so great. So our Mr. Orange evolved into our
bellboy,
which is great. Love it. Beautiful.
We need to do more fun animated intros to movies.
Then the best part is like the animated intro is a little bit of showing you things
that are actually going to happen in the movie. Like he's going to have a wild ass night.
Like it's not exact, but it's a little.
There's some
right?
shit that hints at stuff that, but a lot of it's like just like
there was a snake. I don't remember.
There was a snake. There was like a dude being ridden by a fat chick.
Yeah. So
going a tone down the hallway.
Unless maybe that was stuff that was going to be in the fifth person's room.
His hat gets possessed and he tries to shoot it.
Yeah. So unless all of this was going to be in the fifth room, which is a lot.
Yeah, this is David Lynch's room. That's who was supposed to direct it.
It was definitely some extra stuff, but some stuff hinting at the absurd, right? That he's going to be dealing with some crazy shit. We then get to just see this opening scene that is him, and it's a passing of the torch.
Yeah,
right?
the old bellhop's retiring, and he's literally passing the hat over.
Exactly.
Go ahead and put that on. Can you believe I wore that for 50 years? Goddamn, 50 years.
It's a hotel in Hollywood.
The Monsieur.
It used to be big back in the day. This guy's been a bellhop there since it was big.
There's a lot of
it's downhill.
All the pictures and shit on the back.
Did I work with stars? Of course I worked with stars.
I walked Lassie outside to take a shit, for Christ's sake.
I think he said something about Mr. Ed at one point. I he kept mentioning animals, and I was like, that's so fucking great.
Mr. Ed stole my carrot.
Yeah,
the bastard. I love the way the guy talked. He's this old, grizzled man.
But before he can leave, it's real fast. Again, like we said, Roth gives a silent performance in the beginning. He just nods and grins. He's got this dopey smile, shaking his head. But the old man gives him a couple of pieces of advice. And of course, in true fashion like this,
All
I
this
don't
shit
know
happens.
who wrote or directed these in-between scenes, so it makes it a little bit harder to know for sure.
I feel like it was Tarantino.
But whoever it is definitely made sure that this beginning was just like the biggest foreshadow ever, right? Like literally everything the guy says to him of the things to not do and be careful about
is about to happen.
He says, well, with the
don't get involved in marital arguments.
Well, with the exception of one thing, let me find that in my note because I thought this was so weird. Don't mess with night clerks.
Yeah,
that was the first thing he said. Don't
there's
mess
nobody
with
else
night
in the
clerks.
hotel
it's
but
just
him.
I was like, what night clerk is he pissing
is he
off?
Not supposed to mess with himself? Don't be jacking off at the front desk.
Well, again, we find out way at the end, right? I think that maybe there was supposed to be a clerk who's supposed. He's the bellboy. He shouldn't be working.
Supposed to be working the front desk.
Right?
I work at a hotel. If I'm maintenance, I don't work the front desk.
The other thing we need to make sure people know, it's New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah, it's New Year's Eve. That's
opening,
important.
yeah, it's the opening card we saw was New Year's Eve, which does come into factor later on. I got a feeling that he shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, his boss that he calls later in the movie was probably supposed to be at work today.
Right, so maybe that's where the night clerks things come from. Maybe that dude didn't realize that there was because again,
he's leaving. What the fuck does he care?
It looked like the bellboy office wasn't like in the. You know what I mean? It looked like there was an exterior entrance to it or something. You know what I mean? Like
it's out in the back.
Something like you could get to it without having to see the main.
It's like a garden shack they converted for the bell guy to sleep in,
so you could get to it without having to see the main, entrance people.
That makes sense.
So that guy might not have known the night clerk wasn't working. Who
knows?
Again,
he's leaving. Yeah. He doesn't give a shit.
Exactly. But yeah, after that, though, he specifically mentions kids, hookers, or married arguments. Those are the things to stay away from.
And keep your cock in your pants.
And then specifically, he comes back. You want a tip? I got a tip. Keep your dick in your pants, bud. It's good advice. Again, this is that part where him being completely silent was so funny because after hearing the dick in the pants, he gives that dopey
Oh, okay. Why would that ever come up?
Instantly. It's our first room.
It's the first room.
Well, after it's all ready and we finally zoom in, though, it tells us this is the missing ingredient. We slowly figure out it's the honeymoon suite. The rest of them just flat out tell us with the introduction what room we're in. This is so much fun, right? Like we first see it's a room full of witches. Let's just go ahead and say that.
And they're trying to resurrect their
goddess. We'll get to a little bit of that as we delve into the room more. The beginning is so great though when we see all of them come in, right? Like as Ted sees each one, he's just like first woman. She's the leader. She's a little bit of a bitch, though, right?
A little bit of a bitch, but she's rather normal.
She stiffed the cabbie and then didn't tip. Well, she gave the cabbie change and then stiffed Ted
in the room.
Like, is that's a running theme in the movie? Is like see how people tip Ted, and that like that helps you judge what kind of people they are.
She's not.
She was not a good one.
No, she did. She stiffed him.
We do find out that they're in the honeymoon suite at that point. Then we get to see our next girl, Madonna.
Nice.
With her daughter? Or...
Well, they're witches, maybe in like she's like the mother witch. Kind of.
I don't know.
I hope.
Because she didn't say it like that.
I know.
The girl said, but why are we in the same...
She's like, this is my daughter. It's like, why are we sleeping together? And Ted's just like, what the fuck?
It's Elsbeth and Kiva. This is some of the only witches I got the names of because I was like, that's so random.
I think the leader's name is Athena.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Which I thought was weird because they're resurrecting a goddess, but it's not Athena. Diana? Yeah, Diana.
Yeah, I think that is. It's a Roman goddess, I believe.
I don't. Was that who they were resurrecting? Even?
I'm pretty sure.
After we see those two walk in, they are big tippers.
Oh yeah,
and he gets a little bit of some action out of it.
Gets a little bit of Madonna titty because she puts it in her bra. Like, here, go ahead.
This is a very specific era of Madonna, and if you watch this movie, you'll be able to tell because she's in a skin tight black vinyl dress. Yeah. You know the era. We all know the era. Come on.
About when the sex
came out. Came out in the video where she's in the square rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know. Come on. It was very specific. Madonna won a Razzie for this. You know, like the things you get for the worst being
For
the worst. Yeah, she
movies
won
and
a
shit.
Razzie for worst actress.
I would
or
accept
something
it
like
with pride.
that. Well, sometimes I've seen people get Razzies where they're not. It's not. You know, like it's one of those things where it's just more like people pulled together to get them the award, right? Like that.
Yeah.
It's not that they were actually that bad. I don't know. Madonna was. She didn't have a lot to do, and it was all pretty rough.
It was, but still, I'd still accept my Razzie.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I made a terrible movie. Fuck yes. I am Mystery Science Theater worthy.
After we have Elspeth and Kiva go up to the room and leave the nice tip, our next witch is my favorite witch, the hippie witch.
The hippie witch?
Raven. I did catch her name. I'm not gonna lie, I did get that one because I had to, because I was like, this crazy hippie witch. But yeah, she is totally a hippie.
She just walks past Ted.
She looks like a hippie. She might as well have been walking in with some rose-colored fucking linen glasses, right?
Has the whole like flower wreath around her head.
Well, and the only luggage she has with her is her broom that has the Technicolor,
the Technicolor straws and shit.
Oh my god!
And a bag.
Yes, dude. She's totally a hippie.
The cloth hippie bag too, right? It's just like a burlap sack.
I love when she comes in because she also reinforces, if you didn't know this was the honeymoon suite, she lets us know by telling us it's the room for having sex in,
it's
or whatever.
The room for lovers.
Yeah, or whatever it is, and you're just like, he goes,
oh, the honeymoon suite. Yeah, that's over there.
Oh my god, dude. I couldn't get
then
over
he stops and turns around. He's like, "Where's your luggage?" She's like, she just holds up the broom. I travel light.
Too good. Then we see our last witch that he takes up to the room, Eva, young Eva. This one you get the name of because she's the most important witch.
Yeah, she's dressed her. She's dressed like Betty Crocker for some reason,
like a sexy Betty Crocker. This is a pretty tight.
Yeah,
red and white striped dress. Yeah,
but she's got the weird like checkered fucking shirt thing.
This is Ione Sky. This is the Say Anything girl. Yeah, again, and in us talking about random people, and we might want to talk about them. I mean, I love Say Anything. It's the John Cusack with the stereo.
With the holds the stereo up.
Yeah, this is the girl he held the stereo up for.
So if you want to see her tits, this movie.
Because right after he brings her in, he brings her into the room, and when he brings her into the room, he tells her she's worried because she realizes she's late. He's like, "Yeah, you're definitely." Everybody else,
they've been there for like an hour.
Yeah, you're late, and she was like, "I was worried about that." He drops her off in the room. As soon as she gets in the room, the doors close. Shirts start coming off, dude. But only two.
Yeah,
only
her
two.
And the Southern Belle chick.
The one that we didn't see come in, right? We didn't get to watch her walk in.
I don't remember.
No, no, I'm not. That wasn't a question. That was me telling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the only one. We literally see our leader, then Madonna, then the hippie, and then this girl. The blonde girl is just
the blonde Southern Belle chick. Just
Jezebel.
Jezebel. That's even better. That's a perfect name for her.
Like I said, I had their names. They're just in my notes, and I wasn't trying to look for it.
I just scroll back and forth.
When we got there, we'd get there.
Her and Evie are the only ones that pull their tits out.
My problem is more like it didn't make sense why those were the two. You know, like we didn't put them in places where like it was made sense for the ceremony. The one girl was barely even like she could have had a top on. She was standing at an angle most of the time where you couldn't even tell. It was very strange.
They better have gotten paid extra. Is all I'm saying.
The thing that I wrote about that Jezebel girl is that you said pink cowboy, and I said she's our Glinda the Good Witch. Right? Like all of these are stereotypical witches, right? So again, we got the hippie witch, we got the mother witch, we got Madonna's the dark witch.
Yeah.
She's the good witch.
Yeah,
she's Glinda the good witch, right?
That makes sense.
Eva's the trainee.
Yeah, the newest.
Yeah.
The witch in training.
Yeah. Although she's not technically, she's a full witch, because again, we do find out that they're all 40 years old, or older than what we think they are.
Magic is real.
Yes. Well, at first you don't think that, right?
No, you don't. Just like, oh, it's just some like,
you're like, they're
some women that are getting away from their husbands for a little while to do some fun witch stuff.
Yeah. No. These are real.
These are real witches.
While they're standing there, they tell us that they're going to be summoning their goddess Diana. This is what
they're going to free her from the rock, and they start their little ceremony, and they all start adding shit into the big cauldron.
No, first
tub.
they dance.
Oh yeah, the weird dance.
First they dance, which is a weird circle dance. They all come in together, raising up their arms.
It even cuts over to that Kiva chick, and she's just like,
because she's not actually a witch. She's watching through like
a window.
Like it's one of those like
like you would dress behind,
glass French doors. Yeah. And she's like peeking in, and she's just like, "What is this?" Yeah,
they all look so stupid.
Because again, it's the dumbest dance.
It is. They all look
two topless titties.
Yep, two random topless chicks.
In the mix of it, it's so strange. Then they start making their offerings to the goddess, and we start with the first woman, the leader.
The leader.
You want to get this one?
We offer you the milk from a mother's titty.
Sweet titty.
Sweet titty.
I love that was
a mother's sweet titty, and then they poured it in the tub.
Part of it. The way they specifically
the delivery on it was
these.
so great. And as she pours it in, everybody else has to go, ah.
Then the next one, I'll take over. This one was crazy. This was Madonna. I don't want to know
how she got this either.
But it was, well, I can tell that I've got my notes on what I think.
How you think she did it?
But so again, Madonna's though is a full poem, right? Like the first one is literally just like milk from a sweet titty, and then this one was like Madonna's got a whole poem,
all rhyming
everything
and everything.
It was crazy, but it comes down to virgin's blood. It wasn't a lot of it, dude. What do you mean you don't know? She's traveling with Kiva.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
And we do later find out that the youngest witch is also a virgin.
Yeah, that's true.
So, by proxy, I have no problem believing that Kiva is the virgin specifically that she got this blood from.
Poor Kiva, fucking Madonna just coming up behind her with a razor blade and slicing her fucking cheek.
Dude, you saw the relationship they had. Whatever, they're just into the bleeding kink.
It's weird.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's weird to me.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, it exists.
Yeah, I know it's a thing.
So then after the Kiva's blood. Because I'm telling you,
that has to be where it came from.
Now that you,
now
I told you, you're just like, duh.
Oh,
I guess that makes. Now you know why she kept her as a little pet,
or whatever the fuck.
You want to take Jezebel? Do you remember what Jezebel brought?
She comes in with the offering of the sweat from 5 men's thighs.
She also had a little bit of a poem. It wasn't as long as Madonna's.
I think they tried to make them all rhyme.
Well,
to varying
the very
degrees.
first one wasn't
Didn't
at all.
rhyme
It was
all.
She just literally was like blatantly, I have the milk
of a sweet titty.
All right, and then I'll do the hippie because I love Raven so much. Raven comes with the weirdest one because again, you think Raven's the hippie witch, right?
Yeah.
Now's when you find out that she's like the depressed hippie witch because her offering is a year's worth of her own tears.
And there's a lot
this
of
bitch
it.
has been making herself like this is literally like at least like
once
an ounce of tears
a
day, right?
Because it's like a canteen full, and it
There's slugs into this thing.
So much.
So
then we get Evie.
Eva,
my bad.
She'll be insulted, dude. You don't want her to put a hex on you.
I mean, maybe if she likes me, it could be her pet name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you get the same treatment that Ted does here in a minute.
That'd be great. I work at a hotel too. Like, hey.
All right, go ahead though. Eva, what was Eva?
Poor Eva. She's even just like she knows she fucked up because her little poem is even like starts with like I am doomed to fail here.
And I love that they didn't pick up on it. Right?
Yeah,
that's her
they're
first
just kind of still over there being like,
oh yes,
yay, do it. And she's like, I was supposed to bring sperm from my boyfriend, but I got too excited and kind of swallowed it. And then everybody freaks out. They're like, what? What do you mean you swallowed it? Fucking Madonna's over there just like, why didn't you use your hands?
Didn't your mother teach you not to put those in your mouth? Oh my fucking God, dude. That line jumped out at me.
That was so
hard.
Funny.
Oh.
But so, main chick is pissed. She's got, an hour? You got to get me some cum in an hour.
Athena, yeah.
And then right that time, poor Ted comes back knocking on the door with whatever shit they sent him after. I can't remember.
Rosemary?
Rosemary,
it was from the
salt,
kitchen.
some raw meat.
Yeah. It was all stuff he could easily get from the kitchen that they needed. Some of it was just food they wanted. Well, some of it was just, they said it too. They're like, that's just
and Kiva's down there is like, I like some fries. And they're like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
I just want some fries.
But yeah, so he shows up. He's got the things they've asked for, and as soon as he opens the door, they see him, and they're like, "Ah!" Now this was crazy though, because he walks in backwards, like you would with a tray like that.
turns
Can
around.
you imagine what would go through your head when you turn around and you
Just see a bunch of topless bitches.
well, just two.
Yeah, just two.
How
Just like
strangely this
and like a
is.
boiling cauldron of water and shit.
And then instantly, as you see the two of them, one of them puts a top on.
Yeah, because she looks down like, oh shit, that's right.
And throws her top on and marches out the door with the rest of them because she was like, I can't leave the room like this.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. Of course, it's Jezebel.
Yeah, exactly.
She's the ditzy one.
And now's when she looks even more like
yeah, because like in the
witch.
look on her face when she just looks down like, oh,
Well, she's got this.
I forgot my boobs.
Well,
were
she's
out.
got this pink corset that she puts on, dude. Like, I mean, again,
She put
looks,
that on quick. I'll give her points
no,
for that
for
one.
a corset, that thing was like
She-
it was seconds. She was off screen, and then she was
Boop.
back with the corset on. I don't know if whoever did that, but that director,
The
doesn't
guy
know.
off screen was just like, just throw your arms up. I'm just gonna yank it down.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the
fingers
best.
crossed. Yeah, it was crazy. They all walk out together, leave him with her, tell him he's got a $20 or $50
It was
tip,
$50.
$50
You want your $50 tip? You got to make our Evie smile or Eva.
Eva. We do see that she is left in the room. He got offered the $50. I want to go ahead and point this out because this happens a lot in the movie, and I just had to know how much it was. The difference in inflation makes it where roughly double. Whatever you see him get is roughly double that. For
Yeah, so he's getting like
money.
$120 or something for that 50
That's
nowadays.
That's a pretty good offer.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Again, he doesn't even know what he has to do.
He just said make her smile. That could mean
this
anything.
Is so funny because again, this is another hardcore Jerry Lewis moment, right?
Yep.
He starts trying to make her laugh, and it's the dumb physical
Starts making,
comedy.
like,
He's just
faces,
doing dumb
he's
stuff
making-
and like making funny sounds while he's doing it. Yes, so Jerry Lewis.
And
then,
she just looks at him like,
and
"What the
finally
fuck?"
she's just like, quit. That's not what
Let
they
me
meant.
explain what's
Yes.
happening right now.
She was just like, they do not mean that. And he was like, but I need to earn this money. And she's like, again, it's in his hand. You want to be like, they're not
yeah, they are
taking it away
Yeah, they
from
like
you.
you could lie.
right? But she didn't even mean that. She was just like, let me. How quickly this bitch instantly was like, let me tell you the truth, right?
She starts her monologue of like the whole thing.
Like, I can't believe that she didn't even like try to do this for a split second for realsies. She
Yeah.
just instantly was like, let me tell you, we're a bunch of witches.
And I need your jizz to bring back our goddess that was locked in stone on her wedding night 40 years ago. And then she shows her the magic picture that starts moving.
Yes.
He's like, this was Diana, the blonde one, and it's two chicks and like lingerie, and one of them's tied up, and the blonde one starts like smacking her around and shit.
Two things. This is the moment where she lets us know that all of these bitches, minus Kiva, are actually they've been the same age for 40
40
years. Again, 'cause
years.
she says that they were all a coven already and worshiping her 40 years ago. And you even see like
And they've
Ted's
been
face.
trying ever since
Yeah.
to unlock her.
You can see Ted's face for a split second. Look at her,
Like,
who's like 23.
he
and
looked
is like,
great.
40 years ago.
Looking fantastic there.
Looking like 40 years ago, at best, the oldest one of these women, which was most likely Madonna, was still a child. You know what I mean?
yeah, like
no matter
4
what,
years old.
Even if they would have been alive 40 years ago, they wouldn't have been witches.
No.
They wouldn't have been full blooded.
I'm a toddler. I like to play with my blocks and my choo-choo.
The other note that I have specifically about this is, like you said, the moving picture. My note is specifically that I was like, I didn't realize this is a Harry Potter movie.
Right? Where the pictures just fucking
Because it's a
move.
black and white.
And he's
starts
sitting there, he
moving.
just watches it
I was
like,
literally
oh my
like,
God.
holy shit, this move, they're witches.
They're ripping
with
it off.
black and white
Yeah.
moving pictures. This exists in a Harry Potter universe.
It has to.
It's
right? 'Cause
canon to me
it's
now.
canon. This
These
all
witches-
happened in the Harry Potter universe.
These
4
witches-
rooms.
For all I know, this is like Voldemort's long lost sister or something that they were trying to summon back. I don't know.
That's
But yeah,
exactly what it
the
was.
funny part is though, yeah, this is the first time where we get to see that the person they've been referring to as a goddess, as far as we
and
can
a virgin.
tell. Well, I'm not even worried about that part at first.
I just love Ted's line.
He said, but my point just is that they say it's a goddess, and we see in the pictures just you get what I'm saying, like
Yeah,
it's
just
a woman.
a chick.
Is this just the head of their coven, and that's the title they've given her,
That could be.
right? Because the next thing they tell us is that it was her wedding night in that very room. She was a virgin, and he says, "I don't think
I
so."
highly doubt that she was a virgin. I hate to tell you.
And that she got turned right
Into stone, and her
by an enemy.
and her husband got turned into a pink fish.
So this was my point. By arrival, this is my point. Like either in this universe, we're supposed to not only believe that there are witches practicing real magic, and there are gods and goddesses who are fighting on Earth. Because again, her rival would have to be another god. Or she's just a head witch, and there's another head witch that was after her. I don't know which is supposed to be more believable.
Either way.
Well, but I feel like the head witch is less of a leap since we've already seen witches working magic.
Yeah.
So I like to believe the goddess is just her title.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Because if not, then what we saw in the picture is extra crazy. Because it's just her being like blonde Betty Page,
and
right?
Yeah, she's having dirty sex
with a woman,
with another woman,
like with the masks on, and she's got like
all
a riding
tied up and a riding crop.
Does she have a riding crop, or am I just picturing that? I can't remember.
Might be wishful
but
thinking,
again, again, it's because she looks like Betty Page, and that's the Betty Page picture is like with the riding crop.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, she just looks like because it's from the 40s. She looks like blonde bombshell,
like you would paint on the side of your fighter jet or whatever.
What's funny, the funniest part to me, so we can get back on track. You said Ted makes the joke about
I don't think she's a virgin.
Is that every other witch was already outside the room at that point listening in? I'm so shocked one of them didn't like kick the door in.
How dare you
talk about my God,
blasphemy?
But I guess they all knew. Unlike Eva, they all understood the importance
of what was happening of
here. Getting what
we
they
have
needed.
to get the jizz.
He is still against it though, right? Like
because he's the old man told him to keep your dick in your pants.
She tells him the whole thing, and he's like, "That's great and that's crazy, and I don't know if I believe any of this, but I need to tell you I can't.
I'm not doing
it's
that.
Against the rules. My man said I can't. He was nice about it too. He said we're not supposed to fraternize with
the customers
or whatever
shit.
He worded it very nicely, right? And then she was like, well, fuck, I can't deal with this anymore, right? And then she stands up, top off, and he's like and then real magic. And I just wanted to be
real magic.
I wanted to be like,
she puts the whammy on him.
I don't even know if she needed that. The way he looked at the titty, I wanted to be like, if you would have talked to him for 30 more seconds without real magic, you probably didn't need the real magic.
Yeah. Just drop the skirt too. I mean, that would have been a deal sealer right there.
But so she does. She instead uses real magic. She
shoots hearts at him.
It's not only hearts. Did you watch? There are hearts, stars, and UFOs. There are little UFOs floating around his head, Looney Tunes style.
Soon to come
Why
out
are there
aliens?
Charms. Why are there aliens? These are witches. Why did she cast an alien spell on him? I have so many questions.
Because witches come from the planet Wicca in the Andromeda galaxy.
So this is like a Highlander 2 situation?
Yes, exactly. You got to open the dimensional portals to get to our universe.
I'll allow it. So the being turned to stone, it's just alien. It's Doctor Who shit, right?
It's Doctor Who shit. Yeah, exactly. It's alien shit we don't understand. That's right.
I got it. I'm good with that. I'm actually better with that maybe than the witch stuff.
It's
me and my sci-fi brain.
It's just tech that I don't understand.
Yeah, me and my sci-fi brain are totally good with that. But
me
yeah,
too.
so
it makes me feel better.
we need to get back on track. Yeah, so
he succumbs to her wiles.
Well, and rightfully so.
And apparently was good at it too.
I want to say one thing. I will give her credit because she did use a spell on him. While under the spell, he mentions Betty.
Oh yeah, and she's like, "Who's Betty?"
And then he goes, "It's my boss." And she's like,
"Oh, thank God."
Meaning she was not going to let him cheat
on
a
somebody,
spouse.
Which is super nice.
I give her major
props
credit for that, right? Like that's she didn't have to do that.
No, she could have been like,
but she did stop.
I don't care.
She stopped.
Oh, good. It's just his boss.
Yeah, as soon as she heard it was the boss, she said, "Oh well, fuck, that doesn't matter.
That don't fucking matter."
He gets a good time.
And
somewhere during that, the spell broke off because when he's finished, it's totally just him.
Yeah,
again,
it's just
right?
him. He's like, he gets a number and he comes back for the extra kiss before he leaves.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
As soon as he opens the door, the other bitches are in.
Yeah, they're coming
it's
in.
One of those he definitely at that point realized they had just been waiting outside, right? Oh. And he still was just like,
yeah,
whatever. I got mine.
I got my $50 and I got laid.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. And she's smiling.
Yeah, she had a great time. Got her number, everything.
And then they close the door and they start talking to the girl. She announces to us, like I said, that she was also a virgin because she says,
"I'm a woman now."
Right? And so we know that.
They did it in the pool.
In the pool, so they're good there.
With the blood, sweat, and tears.
That's
and
a little
titty milk.
Disgusting.
It's a weird. I'm not going to.
But everything is where it needs to be.
The potion is ready now.
But they have to pick up the ceremony where it stopped, right?
Yeah.
Which also means that she has to come up with a new
rhyme.
And this time I love in her rhyme, she uses the word jism. And that is such a 90s
Yeah, it
word
is.
for that substance. I just love the usage of that, right? Because
Yeah.
again, like nowadays you would just use jizz, right?
Yeah,
like
you
they
just
would drop
use jizz,
the
you drop the
off there.
M.
But back in the 90s, this was what it was.
Yeah, it was
this
jism.
That's what you would hear in
We're gonna get
everything.
fucking flagged for this.
I know we are. We gotta stop now.
Quit saying that.
No more. Yeah.
No more.
Also, while the ceremony is going on, before it starts, Kiva decides she wants to be a witch, right? We have to talk about this.
Because hippie witch is going on about like this birch branch. She's like, oh, it's good for all this kinds of shit.
Well, the only reason I bring this up is because during this part of the ceremony, she runs in and is like, oh, rips her top off.
And has like duct tape on her tits.
But the funniest part about it was watching Jezebel's face, who was, again, the one most willing to be topless earlier. She has such a condescending look at that bitch because, again, it's like, she's like, it's not topless time. And I was like, but you were topless for what would have been the same part of the ceremony.
Exact same thing.
Like,
you just got interrupted.
Yeah, like nothing is different. Why are you...
And Eva hasn't had time to put a shirt on.
Is it because of the tape? I don't understand. Why is she upset?
She was like,
was she upset?
If you ain't got the balls to actually whip him out,
Right?
don't
Like,
bother.
Right? Like, I don't understand why Jezebel got upset at that moment. But she did. She was... You watch it back. She's very upset.
Yeah, she's just like looking at her with disdain. Like,
but then they start doing more of the spell. When she does her part, though, did you notice Eva compliments Ted?
Yeah, she like gets laid by a guy just like this.
Yeah,
it's
I was like, all
yeah,
right, way
buddy.
to go, Ted. The summoning / de-stoning /
the stone
whatever you want
splits,
to
and
call
then
it.
she starts coming
coming
out of
out
the
of the water.
cauldron. This hot blonde
End
chick.
scene.
That's it.
Done.
Never comes back.
Never gets brought up
It
again.
seems like it should.
For a bunch of rooms that pseudo-reference each other from this point on.
This one is never
It's
mentioned again,
insane.
except when he has
see-
the phone call later.
We see, we see him hang the cherries up.
Oh, yeah, that she gave him.
Yeah, the beginning of one of the flashbacks. But again, there's no direct reference to the witches themselves ever again.
They just disappear completely out of the movie.
There is a high priestess, goddess, witch, something
who is going to go
on the loose now.
Wreak her revenge on her ex-lover who turned her to stone 40 years. I want that movie. Where's that movie?
We at least know these witches have been alive. I mean, they've got longevity on their side.
They're definitely all borderline immortal.
Yeah. That one, that, like we said, summed up that room. In case we forgot to say which director that room was, that one was Allison Anders. So that makes
fantastic job.
Our next room that we're going to be covering is The Wrong Man, room 404. And that one is by Alexandre Rockwell. Yeah. It's not actually 404, but I don't think we should talk about that until we talk about the third story.
Yeah, that actually...
Because at no point in this story do we find out that it's not 409.
That's true.
Again, it's not a big giveaway to tell people that, but I just don't think we should be talking about it because we don't find out at all during this story.
No, just it starts off.
It starts off with
the phone call.
Not
from,
this room.
Not even
all.
that room. It's a room
509
because they're on the 5th floor. But
and
the guy
this room,
they're having a huge party. Dudes are drunk. They're just like, "What room are we in? It's 404." No, we're on the 5th floor, man. 409 then.
And then they keep fucking talking for a minute, and he goes back to 404. He's like, 404.
We need ice.
What?
Ice. Damn it.
You see the guy with the blender. You see the Happy New Year crown on his head.
Did you notice he's just pulling ice out of random cups and shit because he doesn't have enough to make whatever the fuck he's doing?
Daiquiris or something.
Yeah.
It was pink. That's why I'm going daiquiri.
Sounds right. Then Ted's like, all right, cool, I'll bring you some ice. And he's strutting, smoking a cigarette. Did you see him? He put it out and put it in the bucket and kind of shook the ice around on it.
But then he sees the room, knocks on the door, instantly gets walked.
Walks in.
He walks in. That's right. Sorry, I thought he got pulled in because of how crazy everything else goes. But this is the only part that's not crazy.
It's just dark.
He walks in, pitch black, but which instantly lets us as the viewer know
this is not the right room.
There was a big party.
There was a huge party going on.
It wasn't pitch black.
He should have knew something was up immediately because even when he left the phone, he was like, "Ooh, disco."
Yeah. Nope. Pitch black. Very scary. Very scary. I would be frightened if I walked into
I'd be like, "Nope." I'd immediately just leave.
The man with a gun.
He's like,
lights, yeah.
I seem to have the wrong room, and he's like, let's not beleaguer the fact that you have terrible
Well,
timing.
again, all we have here is a man with a gun,
Looking
lights
for-
off, and a woman tied up in a chair. I would be shitting my pants if I
Yep.
were Ted.
Dude, piss, just
And
a
then-
huge puddle.
I want to point this out before we go any further. The next words out of Ted's mouth before getting knocked unconscious is, "My name is Theodore. I'm the bellhop." Because the guy said he was waiting for Theodore.
He's like, what'd you expect at floor show, Theodore? Cocks the gun back. He's like, yeah, but my name is Theodore, but I'm the bellhop. Whack.
Now, the only reason I point that out is because he gets very upset very soon that the man keeps referring to him as Theodore.
Theodore.
He never should have said, "My name is Theodore."
You should have just looked at him with Ted.
Right? At the
Immediately,
very
at the
beginning.
very
As
beginning.
soon as he met him. He never should have said. Again, this is a small gripe to have.
Yeah, but it is.
But I feel like,
A lot of could have been avoided if
If
he'd
he
have been
just
like, no,
would've-
I'm not Theodore, I'm Ted.
right from the very beginning,
Might not have mattered. He,
It-
just
oh,
probably, he probably just would
it
have been like,
really
all right,
probably
fine,
didn't.
Ted.
Because again, this is about to get very insane. So he wakes up. Well, he has a weird dream
What
after
was
getting
this?
pistol
This
whipped.
was super weird. He's like holding a baby that's crying, and then he's like on the
This was
floor
like-
just rolling around.
like Requiem for a Dream
"Ah."
style dream, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was weird.
so strange. Well, because you didn't even say the best part about the baby. The baby was actually like miniature him.
Yeah, it was dressed.
Because it
as
was
a
also in a
bellhop.
bellhop outfit. What
Why?
the fuck?
What the fuck?
This is floating space baby
Yeah,
shit
what the
right
hell?
here. You know what I'm saying?
If I watch it enough times, it'll make sense. You think like
Again,
2001?
This is Alexandre Rockwell. I don't know what he was thinking.
Super artsy.
This is some
He was
crazy
going super
stuff here.
artsy.
But then they wake up and we're in a little less
And then we're back
artsy.
to the
Yeah.
madness.
Now we're just straight up insane territory. Because he wakes up and it's the dude just going off at him, gun still flailing, right?
Like you say somebody else is fucking my wife. You apologize
No,
right
that's what I
now.
was gonna say. It didn't even immediately start with that. Like he's just Ted's just trying to understand what's
Is
going
this
on.
about
He's
another
like,
man?
Yeah, he's just
Because
trying
I think
to
there might be a
process.
misunderstanding.
He's trying to process it out
Like,
loud.
What the fuck is happening?
And that's when the guy loses it. Oh, you think she's cheating? And he pulls her real close,
Really?
like right beside him. He's like,
Hands him the gun for
"You
a
think
second.
she's cheating on me? You think she would do that?
Yeah.
Do you have insight onto that,
What
Teddy
do you
boy?
know,
Theodore? Theo? He calls him every iteration of Theo or Ted under the sun.
The whole time he's just popping pills
Because
and drinking Jack, right?
Dude is getting destroyed right there while he's talking to him.
Like,
Middle of before
uses
we
him as a puppet. Be like, I apologize for saying
and it's wrong. It's wrong.
that I slept with another man. And then he stops and he's like, yeah, I heard it. Repeat it, damn it.
Ted's just like, does he understand?
Then he understands the way
Uh,
that sounds.
Before that happened, there was the phone call. The phone call happened
Oh,
so
yeah.
quick. That's the thing. Because the phone call is the kind of thing you don't pay attention to the first time.
Yeah, because he's in the middle of this shit. He's
like
just
I said,
like,
he threw them face to face. Like he's right. The first time Ted's like real close to Angela, and,
And
he's
she's
kind
sitting
of
there like,
they're like eye talking to each other, right? They're both kind of just being like,
ungag me, motherfucker.
Right.
And he's like, no, I'm not
yeah.
going to
The
do
first
that
time
right
he
now.
doesn't, right? And so it's just the phone call. They're talking. But so if you listen to the background of this, it becomes important later because he is actually talking to our next story. I don't wanna
No,
talk
there's no
about more.
needles in here. Just
Yes.
a big fucking gun.
Gun.
How does that strike you, sweet ass?
It was so
Ciao,
funny.
bambino. And then it
Yes.
pops another pill and
Pill,
hangs
yes.
up.
Then we get into the making her
use him
mouth
as
the,
a
yeah.
puppet.
Again, he says it wrong too.
And
He's-
he,
made-
has a look on his face like,
he makes
yeah, I
it-
heard
he-
it.
He makes it to like where Ted says he was fucking another man, not that the woman was fucking another man.
right?
And Ted's just like, I don't think he
I don't think
he does
gets
that
it.
like that look where you mental math, right? He's
Yeah.
doing like he's like adding 2 plus 2.
Wait a minute, hang
Wait a
on.
minute.
That doesn't sound right.
Those
but
don't-
fuck it. Say it anyway.
Well, it's a crazy man. Are you arguing?
No, I'm not
he's
gonna
holding
fucking
your
argue.
face like
And
you're a
it's-
puppet.
It's literally the Dirty Harry gun.
Yeah.
It's a 44 Magnum.
Is it? Or is it a 392?
It's a three. If it has the short barrel, it's a 357. Apparently,
We'll come back to that joke later. That was so funny. Yeah, so this goes on for a little bit where we just see him losing his shit. He's going off. Mainly all we're supposed to tell here is, and what we do find out, they are definitely married. He's definitely lost his shit. But this might be a kinky game.
Yeah, because when he finally ungags her, she's like, "Look, we do this all the time. Just do what he says. Don't
Just
make
go
him mad,
along.
and you won't get hurt."
Everything's actually fine.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Well, is this a
But
weird
then the
fucking
man goes
game?"
into the bathroom, right? Comes back out. Seems lucid for a minute, right?
Yeah.
He comes back out, and you're kind of like, all right. Ted stands up for himself after the ear nibbling, right? Like he went into the
Yeah,
bathroom
because he's trying to put the gag back in, and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Oh, Teddy, I was just starting to trust you."
But then you remind me of I had a rabbit, a bunny
a
named
little
Ted.
bunny rabbit, the name Ted, and he would
You said
nibble on the
her
wires.
ears. Why don't you nibble on her ears, Ted?
Nibble, motherfucker, right fucking now.
It was so crazy. But
Yes, sir. I will nibble on the ear.
Then he calls him Theo.
Theo.
That's the one that
Yeah,
snapped.
he snapped.
He said, "God damn it, my name is not Ted. It's not Theo.
Or
it's,
my
oh,
name is
my
Ted.
name is Ted. It's not Theo.
Theo,
It's not Theodore.
Theodore.
It's not any mix in between. It's not Teddy.
Yeah.
It's Ted."
He's like, "I am very aware that my mother did me the service of naming me Theodore.
You can imagine going to school, everybody
Right.
making fun of you. Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Have you ever worn a bonnet? Give it a try sometime." It's like, God damn.
Loses his
It
shit.
gets dude's respect, though.
No one is going to call me. Again, this is the part where he got crazy because apparently he got made fun of and was called Theo the Thumper, which makes the bunny
rabbit part even more
worse.
infuriating.
Right? Now you know why it caused him to snap,
Yeah.
right? Like it was the combination of everything by
Not
chance.
A bunny.
Don't fucking say that shit.
My name is Ted.
But during this, this is when he has the lucid moment. Like again, Siegfried, as we're very
Yeah, he
shortly about to
introduces
find
himself.
out. Well, not yet. He has a lucid moment when he's just kind of staring at Ted, right? And you're like, the man's okay, right? He's all right.
He's impressed.
Then he kisses Ted on the mouth. Well, then he tells him, I'm Siegfried. I grew up with a horrible name.
Horrible, weird name in a weird place.
We
Unless
can
you're in
relate.
Norway, you're not going to
Yeah,
get any
We
respect.
can relate. And Ted's like,
Awesome.
All
That's
right,
great.
that's
Good to
good.
meet you, Siegfried.
Then Siegfried kisses him on the mouth
hard. He goes in hard, too.
and has a heart attack into his mouth. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, literally, Ted is holding up Siegfried's weight against his mouth
Right.
as Siegfried has the heart attack.
Oh, I can't forget my nitro pills.
Where are they?
They're by the condoms.
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
And so, surprisingly,
The whole
Ted
time
being a
he's in
bigger
there,
man
he's
than
just
me,
dying.
I would have been gone.
Yeah, I would have been out.
Would not have been there for
He
a
goes,
moment.
he tries to find him. Can't.
No, don't even. We can't walk past this bathroom as quick as you're trying to, dude.
He tries to escape through the window.
No, not even that. You're passing up. There was blood all over the floor.
Oh, yeah.
There were massive. This
Cabinet
fear
was
and loathing
full of
level
drugs.
fucking drugs.
This guy has all the drugs in it.
There were
there were
adrenochrome-
droplets,
there
right?
were
Little
adrenochrome
droppers and shit.
bottles and shit. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. You're trying to just walk past.
It's like the briefcase in Fear and Loathing.
That's exactly it. That's what I said. Fear and loathing level drugs, dude. You were gonna walk right past the insanity that was this bathroom.
I apologize.
Because
My
again, like
bad.
the first thing I saw was the blood. Because the way you walk in, you see blood all over the floor by the edge of the tub, and it's like, what's that
From
from?
the nosebleed from all the pills he crushed
I
up.
guess, but again, we have no clue. Keep in mind, his wife is bondaged up in the
She's
other room.
tied in the other room.
For all we know, it's hers.
I wasn't paying attention. Did she have any blood on her?
Not that I know of.
Maybe
But she also bathes before we see her again later.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Dude. But yeah, there was a lot of blood, lots of drugs, lots of condoms.
Just a
But apparently
roll of
no
them hanging
nitros.
down.
None of the
I'm
nitro
not going through the
pills.
90 pill bottles that were in that fucking
No, Ted
thing.
turns around. You're right. This is when he sees the window.
He climbs up on the toilet and it flushes, and you hear Siegfried from the other room like, "Ted, I'm dying here. There's no time to take a piss."
He tries to climb through this tiny
ass window.
And
on like the 5th floor or whatever.
On the fourth floor.
Fourth
Come on,
floor.
keep it.
I remember.
But I guess they're 5 stories up, right? No, I don't know. It all depends.
Do you count the lobby as a floor or the basement?
Well, does this play? Is it ground level then lobby? You know, like Metrozine
yeah.
style, or is it? We don't know enough about it because it is old enough to be that design,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like
is.
the 40s in Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's exactly the kind of place that would have had a Metrozine lobby 1 floor up.
Yeah, they really could have.
So we don't know. But either way,
The actual
stories is
first
still
floor is like a
well,
restaurant.
4 stories is still a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's not the kind of thing, especially once he saw the angle and the tininess of the window, he should have been like, "Oh, I can't
Yes.
safely."
There's no way.
Like if you could control and you were just jumping, right? Maybe. But
And-
not
Oh, hey, I made this. I didn't even mean to do this. I made a Cronenberg reference earlier. We get a fucking The Fly reference.
Well, yeah,
Here,
maybe-
he's hanging out the window going, "Help me, help me."
This was so great because he doesn't notice at first, but they do make sure it's in scene, right? The guy above him. Because he's
when
still
it pans out,
freaking-
you see him for a second.
Exactly.
And then it cuts to a wide shot with the arrow pointing like, here he is. This is Ted. This is where he is on the
And
building.
so it's so funny because Ted doesn't notice at first that there is
There's a
and
dude.
he looks dead,
He
right? When
does.
you see him
Like
the
he's
first
just
time, the first time I was like,
zombie. I thought we were about to have zombies
I
or
was like,
something.
whoa,
Because
whoa,
we had
way
witches a
different-
second
way
ago.
different room, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's just the dude. He's sick. It's the guy who called for ice.
For ice. That's what he
is
says too. He
yes.
just looks at him because
ice.
Ted flips over and he's like, "Look, I'm having a really weird situation right now. Could you call the police or something?"
And he just looks at him and he goes ice and then vomits.
Missed Ted by like that much.
I can't believe that
It-
there's.
I
Ted
think
has
it was
got-
supposed to hit him.
Ted's got some fucking reflexes,
Right.
Because he snaps in and does not get any on him. But on top of that, did you notice the whatever they used for vomit? It looked like they dumped like a hard substance.
Have you ever seen
It fell in a way that I wouldn't think liquid would fall.
No, like the blob, like the shit they
Yes,
used
no,
for the blob.
exact- yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Very viscous,
Yeah.
hard viscous too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And right.
and oobleck and
Oobleck,
oobleck liquid,
yeah.
yes, like that.
That's
It
what it
looked like
was.
that.
It was pink oobleck. And he just had a big mouthful of it.
I appreciate us for both of us knowing the
Yay,
science term right
science.
now. But yeah, it was very strange looking. He dives back inside and was like, "Well, fuck it, I gotta go in there. I gotta deal with what I've been given."
And it's just a disaster. Siegfried's on the floor.
On the floor.
The chair's been knocked over with
He's-
poor
well,
Angela.
Dude, but on the floor doesn't even give it justice. It's on the floor like butt in the air,
Yeah,
face
face-
against the dresser at this point, right? Like it wasn't even on the floor. Like he was
just,
like,
you could see he just went face forward and stopped ass up in the
"Oh,
air.
dude, he looked."
And he's like, Siegfried, oh no, what
You-
happened?
he
He's
was
like
"You-
pulling
you-"
Angela
He
up.
was like, "You're dead already."
and she's
she
like,
was like,
where's
"He's
the
not."
pills?
Yeah, she was like, "He's not dead, but he's dying, and it's your fault."
Where's the pills? He's like, I couldn't find her. She's like, fuck, untie me. I'll
No.
go goddamn find
And
him.
then he unties her, starts to, and then goddamn out of nowhere, this scared the piss out of me. Siegfried
First time
is
I saw
standing,
it too.
standing
Stay
behind
right
him,
behind him.
and he's just like, "I tie a pretty good knot, huh, Ted?"
He's like, God damn it, you're okay. And hugs him and shit. And it was all it was a test,
Yes,
right?
for the woman to see.
I heard genuine concern in your voice.
Which
You love me.
but technically she failed, right?
I don't know the part where she was like, I'll find the pills, I guess.
But also, when they're this kind of kinky, isn't the test to see if you stay in the bondage like you're supposed to? I don't know what the
rules.
test was.
I don't know the rules to this weird game.
I am glad we're leaving this room.
It's because the game, it seems like the game's over, but then she starts it again because she's just like, oh, fuck you, Ted. And your big dick. How dare you say you're going to take me away and all this other shit with your huge cock and all this stuff. And Siegfried's just like freaking out. Stop talking about his cock. And then we get
this was so uncomfortable. You're not, again, I love
descriptions.
the last where I say, again, I don't want to say the word as much or say, but
She just
but
goes through
we
the
can at
list.
least let people know. Well, not even before we get to that, dude. The level of times they said the word cock.
Yeah.
It was like 36 times in like 3 fucking minutes. It was insane. Because she started saying it, then Siegfried started saying it.
Show it to me.
And then Ted started defending
Show it to
himself
me.
and
Show
being
it to
like,
me
"I'm
right
not gonna whip
now."
my cock out.
It would have proved her wrong immediately. Like, look, my dick doesn't hang down to
But-
my fucking knees,
what-
you lying bitch.
But what if Ted does? We didn't
Oh yeah,
see.
that's fair.
We don't know. Maybe Ted was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get
Thinks-
shot."
think small thoughts.
Ted was like, "I'm gonna get shot in the head right now."
Retract.
The one
Pull
time,
it into
the one
the
time I
body.
wish I wasn't well endowed.
Damn me and my horse cock.
But yeah, after that though, is the part where
She goes through every
this scene
single fucking
this
euphemism
scene
for a
puts
dick
Varsity Blues
to
to
shame.
shame.
She just
Like Varsity Blues is one of those movies. The first time you hear that dick scene in fucking sex ed class, you're like, "Whoa, that's a lot of no."
No.
This bitch drops like 40, 50,
Every single
60. I don't know.
goddamn
It's
one
insane.
you could possibly think
It's
of.
insane.
Schlong, Pecker,
Ted's
dude,
leaving the
all
room
this shit,
and she's
she's
still going.
Poor Siegfried's just like, stop,
Chef's-
please.
Chef's
Oh,
kiss.
it's so
yeah,
good.
he's just like, stop talking about his cock.
And as soon as Ted walks out of the room, he bumps into that dude that called him on the phone earlier. And he's like, hey, man, have you seen like room 401? He's like, I don't know what the fuck you are talking about.
And then he looks.
And the dude goes in there and they just start over. Because Siegfried just,
because
he
the guy
says
says
the
he's
exact,
Theodore.
he's like, hey, I'm Theodore. I was looking for this room. And they just start the thing over because he says the exact same, like, don't bother that you have shitty timing. And then you hear the gun cock. This is just what these people fucking do.
It's their night.
Good for Ted for getting
That
the
was
fuck out
their
of
New
there.
Year's.
Yeah,
That was their plan.
This is the only room where he doesn't get a tip, though.
Yeah, well, his tip was staying alive.
I guess.
He
It's a
coulda-
good tip. That's a pretty good tip.
He
I
also-
didn't die.
Well, he also could have left with all the drugs he wanted.
Ted doesn't strike me as that kind of
I
dude.
get it, but I'm just saying he could have.
Yeah. Sell them on the side.
On the street.
I mean, it's the best way. If
drugs
you don't
have
do
street
drugs,
value.
if you don't do drugs, that's the best
Make
way.
money.
Fucking edit that. That's a bad advice for people.
No, I'll leave that in as long as they know that we don't think
Don't
they should.
do that. It's terrible.
We weren't saying you should do that, but we're just saying
Drugs bad. Okay.
if
Listen to Mr. Mackey.
if you have no choice and they end up in your hands.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. I mean,
So yeah, the next room, room 309, which now that we're getting to this, the misbehaviors.
The
name of
Misbehaviors
room,
is my favorite.
This is
room.
Robert Rodriguez. His room.
Obviously,
once you start seeing
if
it.
if this,
Well, the very first thing you see is fucking Antonio Banderas for the room.
I need champagne.
So
Fast.
you can instantly feel the connection because those two love working together.
I just
You know
have
what I'm
to say, just real quick, for a guy who's only like 5'10" and like 180 fucking pounds, he's an intimidating motherfucker, isn't he?
He knows it too.
Continue.
But yeah, this is those two love working together, and so it's one of those like. Though again, this was like a week. I found this out. This was like a week after they finished shooting Desperado.
I love
together.
that fucking movie.
So I mean, yeah, this was they love each other.
Yeah.
They have a strong connection.
I mean, he did like 5 fucking Spy Kids for him, so yeah.
Well, I mean,
If you don't like the guy, I wouldn't have done past the second one.
give me a second.
Well, no, I might have done the third one because it's got Stallone in it.
But yeah, so the next thing I want to point out though, since we're finally in this room and we said we'd wait to talk about this, is that we in this room find out that it was not 404.
It was 409.
And we'll get to that in a minute, but we can go ahead and at least address that.
Yep.
Because the real funny part about that is that makes 3 different rooms in these stories that we know of, all right above each other.
Yeah, they're
below
right
each
up.
other.
They're right up
The
above
party
each other.
is in 509. They were in
The crazy
409
couple
for
is
the
in
last
409,
story,
and
they're in
309 is our
309 as the
misbehaving
kids.
kids. Oh, what's in 209?
I don't
Is
know.
that the honeymoon suite? No, that'd be on the top floor.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, the penthouse is the top floor.
Oh, so
I don't know. The honeymoon suite could literally be anywhere.
I'm gonna say it's 209 just to keep it going.
That sounds good. And then
Yeah.
it only has 5 floors, so 509 is the penthouse.
isn't it?
I like it.
I like it. Me too. Canon. Argue with me, Tarantino.
So then I guess that means 109. So it has to be the kind of place that has one is the first floor.
yeah, we have rooms on the first floor
Yeah.
at my hotel.
So yeah, 109 would have had to have been the one from the guy who didn't make it.
yeah, from the
right?
guy who didn't make it.
The elusive fifth director.
The elusive fifth director, David Lynch.
It's not. I'm
I
telling you.
want it to be.
I know,
though.
but I'm telling you, there was a person. That's not who it was. I can't remember. It's killing me. I'm hoping.
Go back in time.
I'm just hoping before the end I'll remember. I probably won't. but I'm
Remember,
trying.
Shane. Remember.
Stop. That's not gonna help
Oh,
for sure.
okay.
I'm not.
I made it worse. I'm sorry.
I'm not the type that is
going
susceptible
for
to
the
that.
for the hocus pocus. Remember. When
Yeah, I
you
know.
were-
Nope, not working. Yeah. So let's get back on track here. So immediately, though, like you said, champagne. It's Antonio Banderas. He wants champagne. I will point out we never find out his name or his wife's name. They are literally
Mom
just
and Dad.
it's just the man and the wife. Those are the names.
That's it on the
man
credits. I
and
didn't
the
look.
wife. Yeah, the man and the wife. I love it as a
That's
naming
awesome.
concept. The kids do get names, although again, I don't know if I only
I
know
know
this
the
because it's
little
in the
girls.
credits, but I don't know if how often they're said.
The little girl says it on the phone. She says, "It's me, Sarah."
Sarah.
I don't remember the kid's name. The
The
little
boy is give me a second. It's like
DeMarco.
no, it is something weird though. I didn't have it right away because I didn't hear him say it right away. Oh, where's it at?
I didn't get to write it down.
You gotta give me a second because
You're fine.
I remembered I stopped because I was like I gotta stop saying the little girl, and I was like that's when I heard her say it, so I found his Juancho. Juancho. It's Juancho. I'm not the person. I'm not that
Juancho?
guy. Yeah,
Juancho.
that's his name.
Es little Juancho, come to my siesta.
But yeah, so they do have names, but forgive us if you just hear us say the little girl and the little boy, because that is also apt descriptions for all we really see.
It's just little girl, little boy, little brother, little sister.
Once the champagne gets ordered, we see up in the room and we see it's again like we've already elaborated to. It's the man, it's his wife. He's trying to brush his kid's hair. It's not
They're
going
getting ready
well.
to go out for the evening.
You can tell from the very short scene in the bathroom there where they're fixing the kids up to go out. He hates his wife.
Doesn't like having kids.
Well, specifically, I don't even know if it's that he doesn't like having kids. It's that he doesn't like that his kids share half their DNA with. Again, he hates his wife.
His wife. He's like, you have your mother's hair. I can do nothing with it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know if it's that he doesn't like his kids or that it's that he doesn't like that half of his kids are his wife's. The point
How
for the
dare
whole
you
scene,
share your DNA?
The point for the whole scene is definitely supposed to let us know that they have a very hate relationship.
Love-hate relationship?
I don't even know if I would say love. Hate. Yeah. Love is the last part of the equation.
It's only alcohol induced. They got to be. That's why they're so pissy right now. They haven't been drunk in a long. They haven't been drunk enough to fuck in a long time.
They are very upset and angry with each other in the bathroom. During the bathroom scene, we need to address that it's the first time we see little Juancho steal a fucking cigarette.
Yeah, because he puts it down. And he's Banderas is combing his hair, and the kid just picks it up. And he's like, and Banderas is like, "Give me that, you little bastard."
Mm-hmm.
And then from the rest of this point on. Expect
anytime
this kid turns around,
he
finds cigarettes magically
in his mouth. Yeah, it's very
because I feel like his dad would have taken his cigarettes with him, but this kid just magics them from fucking nowhere. Which means I think when they first got there, his dad went to take a shit and he went and stashed cigarettes all around the hotel room.
That's quite possible. So
I would have done it.
Then we see though the dad has a genius idea.
He does
right?
a great idea. Every '90s parent's idea.
He looks at the wife and he goes, "Hey. Why don't we just leave the fuck faces here?
Just leave the little bastards here. The TV can raise them."
We don't. He doesn't say raised, but yes, that is exactly it. Though he's like the TV.
Come
the
on,
TV
man.
can do it.
We're that generation.
Yes. He's like, and she was like, I don't know. And he was like, I'm telling you,
it'll be fine.
We can go out. And then they start again. This is the moment where between their outfits, which are all black and white clothing, and the weird sexual anger, aggressive attitude the two of them have for each other. It's the Addams Family, dude. This is like a weird, real world,
more hateful,
less fantastical.
Gomez and Morticia,
right? Like, there's no fantastical here. There's no stuff that.
There's no calamia.
There's none of the stuff that makes the Addams Family fun. There's no.
You're hot enough
around
for me to bang, but I don't
I don't even just mean the relationship. I mean the whole family. Because again, the kids are Wednesday and
Pugsley, basically.
Well, and they both attack each other here in a minute. I mean,
and they start. And one
that's
what
I'm saying.
And smokes.
I mean, it's literally
shit.
the Addams Family minus the fantastical.
More real world Addams Family.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's no fantastical.
I'm all fucking for it. Let's do an Addams Family with Banderas.
Because it still keeps the weird grim stuff to it, right? Like it's again, this is very much like the Addams Family, but real world.
I'm for it. Let's cast Banderas as Gomez and do a remake.
So the parents do decide that this is their plan. They try to sneak out the first time.
Yep.
Tell them right before he walks out the door. Very intimidating. Don't misbehave.
Yes, Papa.
And he walks out the door.
2 seconds.
This is great. The girl is just watching TV and the boy is just like,
I'm escaping.
And he runs to the window, is like halfway out it. And she's like, what are you doing?
I'm escaping. Escape. I told you, I am going to get out of here.
And she's just like,
what the fuck? And their
fucking
dad's
Antonio,
like, what did I tell you?
Kicks the door back open. Like, you're stupid.
And then he sits down like, I wasn't doing shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I am completely innocent. Angel.
Luckily, right here,
is when Ted comes in with the champagne he ordered earlier.
and he goes,
You're too late.
Too late
Put
for
it on
that.
ice.
I don't need that.
I don't know why I keep doing the accent. I
Yeah,
can't
you
help
need
it.
to stop at some point. Someone is going to be offended.
I can't help it.
I understand.
I want to be as cool as Antonio Banderas.
You're not, and you're culturally appropriating his accent at
He's
this point.
Spanish, isn't he? He's not even.
And that's
no
a
idea.
Spanish accent.
But he's like European Spain, though, right?
But they still Spanish is a language, and therefore, no matter where
Took
you
4 years of Spanish. It's fine.
But what I'm saying is, unless you're in the part where they do the THs for C sounds, everywhere still uses this. Spanish is Spanish, is what I'm getting at. It doesn't. You can be in Spain. Spanish is still. You're gonna sound that way.
All right, I will stop.
Yeah.
It's my last one.
Yeah. The only difference from country to country is like slang and stuff is different. But I mean, like Spanish is Spanish. You know, like same thing with like French. You know, you go to Cajun French or Canadian French, they just say that they sound like hick French, but they still sound like French. Like, you know what I mean? Like
the Quebecers.
yes, it's like to them it's the Kentuckian speaking French,
redneck French people.
Yeah. And so that's my point, though. Like, so, like, saying he's from Spain, it doesn't mean. I mean, it's still the same. His accent
wrong
would be the
about
same.
that.
Yeah,
Even.
his accent would be the same.
He gets so much heat for all.
That's
of
what I
that.
was saying. Technically, Spanish is spoken through most of the country. You were offending more people than.
It's fine.
Insult the French is what I'm getting at.
Fuck France, Napoleon, you
Okay.
little bitch.
I mean, all of that's out. We need to stop. It was fun for us for a second. We need to release some steam. All
Cut
right.
it at the fuck France. Just
No, it'll be way before that. Come on now. We went off on too big of a tangent. That was crazy. I'll keep some of it. I mean, it's not like all of it's going, but yeah, we went the kind of far that's only fun for us and definitely not fun for other people. Oh, all right, but yeah, so he shows up. He's got the champagne. He gets told, "Bitch, you're late. We don't
too
need
late.
that."
We're leaving.
But then,
How would you like to make a bunch of money?
yeah, then all of a sudden, exactly, he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, you could be the guy."
He starts with 500,
then backtracks
and then
it.
immediately is like, "How about 3?" Oh, okay.
I guess. What do you want me to do?
Watch my kids. Like, check on them every 30 minutes. Make
says,
sure they go to bed and all
Sir,
this shit.
I could just get you we know babysitting services.
I don't trust no weird pedophile. I would much rather have some random stranger that works at a hotel.
No, the wife calls him on that.
I
The
know,
wife says,
I was super happy about that. I was
She
like,
was
at least
like,
somebody said it.
"Isn't he just a stranger?"
Yeah, like
too?"
what makes
He
him so
grabs
trustworthy?
his face. The number of people grabbing this man's face.
He does it super hard too. Just
Snack.
Look at
look
this
like
face.
a trustworthy face.
What do you
to
do?
you?
Look at this trustworthy guy right here. He's not gonna do anything because I'll break his fucking neck.
And so he said, "Okay, well, I still need more details. Well, it's gonna be every 30 minutes. I need you to just pop in, see what they need,
Make sure they
take
have
care of 'em,
food. Make sure
do
they go to bed.
whatever." And so Ted's like, grows a little bit of balls and says, "Look, I guess I could do it
For 500.
for 500."
I
Then
said
this was
300.
so funny. Yeah, he goes,
Like,
"I said
yeah.
300." He goes, "No. I do believe the first thing you said was 500. Yeah, but the last thing
I said was 500 or 300.
He goes,
And that's
"Yeah,
important.
no, but then this was so funny. Ted hits him back with the, "Yeah, but unless the last thing you're about to say is 500, then I'm not going to
I
do
can't
it."
help
I
you
was like,
because
dude,
I'm here by myself and I don't need the pain in the ass of watching your kids.
Yes.
Are you calling my kids a pain in the ass?
I'm calling the situation a pain in the ass, sir.
No, you were right the first time. They are a pain in the ass.
You get your 500.
You can get your 500. All right, tough guy. And the mom is just like, "You kids are getting expensive."
And again, I think that's so funny because the dad was like, "It's a bargain."
Yeah. I would have paid 1,000, you idiot.
Well, he did. Remember, I told you, double
Oh.
the money.
Yeah.
Today's money,
it would be
That'd
like
be
$1,000.
$1,000.
God, I wish I could make $1,000.
Ted could buy himself a brand new
dude,
computer.
That means like later on in the movie, like she's walking out of your fuck.
This is what yeah.
We'll run the numbers at the end of the fucking
Yeah.
movie. This dude walked out with a shit ton.
But so he's got 500 guaranteed right now. Did you catch the creepy fucking wink from Sarah after the 500 got passed off? This is what I was saying. You focus too much on that relationship, and I was trying to say they all are
All
the
are
Addams
that
family.
way?
That was such a Wednesday Addams, like, you fucked up, buddy.
Yep.
You fucked up.
No, because here, like, immediately, as soon as the parents
Immediately.
leave,
She calls down, she starts talking to him, and she's like, "But we're gonna need this," and he goes, "No, but it needs." Well, no, they hadn't even.
he hadn't even left. He's like, "Don't call me unless it's an
It's
emergency."
an
And
emergency,
she's like,
yeah.
"No, that's not what my dad
No,
said.
my daddy said,
Anything.
and that
If
means
I need you for
anything,
anything,
and you're not gonna want to piss him off. So,
fuck, the little girl is clever."
well, but then he even tries to be like he tries to start wording it different. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Instead of saying emergency, he was just like, unless it's a priority, right? Did you notice? He was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna try to find a wording that works for everybody that still means I'm not fucking coming up here all the time.
Right? Don't fucking bother me. I am the only guy in this hotel. Leave me alone.
Then we we almost forgot they also got the snapped misbehave line again from the
Yeah.
dad, which is again why they're the misbehavers. Yes.
Misbehave.
Dude, again, it's scary. It's not.
Dude,
it's
I said it
intimidating.
earlier. He's an intimidating
Well,
motherfucker for not
especially
being
those
very
don't
big.
misbehaves, dude. Like I heard it and I was like, "Yes,
The
sir."
accent.
Right?
It's
Like
that
I was just like,
fucking accent. That's why I want to do it all the time. I wish I
instinctively-
sounded like
I
this.
instinctively found myself watching the TV, putting my hands up.
Like, all right, goddamn.
All right, dude.
I am chill. You
I'm-
need to relax.
I'm watching a movie.
I'm not doing anything wrong, Mr. Banderas. I promise.
No misbehaving. But we also before we got to what you said, we got that Ted gave these kids the simple rules that I have always given kids whenever I've been in charge of children too.
Don't do
Literally, there's
anything-
2 rules.
Yep.
Don't bother me,
And
and
don't do anything
that
you
would
wouldn't
piss your
do
parents off.
if your
Yeah.
parents weren't here.
You do that,
Nice and easy.
everybody's
Other than
copacetic.
that, just sit there and watch fucking TV. This should be super simple, but it never is.
This is the same speech I have literally my whole life, and you
I've had this
well,
speech given
you-
to me.
You know me. You know I have worked with children a lot. I
Yep.
was going to be a teacher.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
be a
have
teacher.
given the speech to many a child,
Like,
many a
just
groups of
just
children.
doing the substitute thing. Just being like,
I never
"Look."
did it in a classroom. I will at least say that.
Oh, okay.
But
My-
now that being said, I did do it for like camps that I was counselors
I mean,
for.
our uncle was a substitute teacher. He definitely did this. He's like, "Look, I'm gonna put a movie on. I'm gonna take
Don't
a
bother
nap.
me.
Don't leave the room. Don't bother me."
Oh. Yeah, so then though, while this was going on is when we got the speech that we had already talked about where she was like, bitch, daddy, my daddy, the one thing we forgot about my daddy's speech where she told him like, my daddy definitely paid you to do this is that she specifically fucking dropped the dollar amount. She
My
said
dad
for
paid you
$500
$500
pays for a lot more than what you're trying to do.
I own you.
And
You're
that
my
was the moment too that
bitch.
locked it into him because again, unlike earlier where we were like money in his hand is money in his hand. It's not like somebody's taking that 50 back from him.
Yeah.
No, Antonio Banderas looked like the kind of guy, the man there
Who
looked like
would
the
take
kind
that
of guy
damn money
who would come
back.
back, kick the shit out of you, and
And
take,
take
that
his money back. Exactly.
And so yeah, as soon as that little girl was like, I think we both know you're not earning the 500 my dad just paid you. He was like, fuck,
Yeah.
fuckity fuck, fuckity fuck.
It's like, all right, cool. If you guys just relax, chill, I will bring you milk and cookies.
Milk
Is
and
that
cookies. Like these kids, didn't care, but again,
No.
didn't look like the kind of kids that cared. I can't believe that he thought that was going to be something they were
Right.
going to care about. Because instantly he said it.
Cake
the
and
girl,
pie.
Sarah, looked over at Chwanchin and it was just like,
Give a fuck.
excuse
I don't give a
Why
shit
does he
about your
think I
fucking
care
mother. What am
about
I,
that?
4? Like, yay, I got my Dunkaroos.
He bounces out, and literally, as soon as he bounces out, our little boy is just like, time to get goddamn comfortable.
Fuck
Kicks
yes.
off the shoes,
Takes off the shoes.
throws the socks. Little girl goes, God
your
damn, your feet stink. Put them fucking things back
My feet
on."
don't stink. He sits there, he starts smelling them and shit.
Dude, that was
Like
intense,
sticking them,
too.
like sticking the
His
toe up his
face
nose. Like,
in them,
nah,
dude.
they're fine. They just smell a little bit like
he's
corn
just flipping
chips.
through TV. He's trying to find something fun to watch.
He,
and
find,
then
he
all
does.
Of
He
it,
finds
he
something
goes,
great.
I didn't even put what he said.
Oh, TNA.
Yeah, TNA. That was so good. It's a stripper on TV. Do you
It's
remember
Selma
what-
Hayek.
Selma Hayek. This is the reason she got cast for From Dusk Till Dawn.
One of my favorites.
The Tarantino Rodriguez
oh, yes,
pairing.
the collab.
First time. Because they also
Oh, is it
later
the
did
first one?
Grindhouse.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
Yeah.
one.
Again, that's technically still different. That's more like this. They
Yeah,
both
yeah.
did their own parts of it. and overlapped
Yeah,
pieces.
it's like the old school double feature. Like you go
But
to
still, it was another collab. Yeah,
drive-in.
these guys have collabed a lot. At a point proven, this movie first,
yeah,
then into the other things.
and it's always good.
Yes, always, for sure. But yeah, specifically Selma Hayek was here because, again, Robert Rodriguez had just finished doing Desperado, and she was there, and he was like, "Hey, I need someone to dance.
I need somebody
on
to
screen."
dance, and she is
he was
hot
like,
as fuck.
Well, and he was like, "Your face won't be on," and it wasn't.
No,
It's just her body.
just her dancing around on the TV screen. Probably took 30 seconds, and they
yes.
just looped it.
Definitely. And so she got easy
And
paycheck.
probably,
she got
how
to
was
be
I say,
here,
probably got a good
and
paycheck.
helped her get cast in another movie.
Even more
Hallelujah,
paychecks.
right?
Fuck yeah.
Wait to
Make
go.
that money.
But
But the girl is pissed off.
before we move on, I want to make that point though that I realized that I forgot to say this in the beginning, but the fact that I've said it twice now for his room, I want to go ahead and say this. So I do think each director writer was responsible for getting their own cast, which is part of why we have so many big people, right? Like they're each calling in the biggest high card favor
The
they
person
can,
they know.
right? So think about, like, I think that's why we've got
No wonder-
so many big
I'll
people
save it.
in each one.
I'll
Yeah,
save
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I think that's why we've got
But it explains some things later on.
about each one of these rooms. So I think that's why
it does. That does make sense. They were in charge of casting and shit. It's like, look, you're in
Well-
charge of this room and its entirety, directing, writing, all of it. You want a fucking specific sound guy.
Yeah.
You need to
So
find him.
I totally feel, because again, like, think about
That's
who's in.
such a cool. We should do more shit.
I
like
agree.
that.
That's why I had to stop and say it though. Like I meant to say it
For
before
like
we
a
started.
for like a cinephile fucking perspective, that's super
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, I meant to say that before we started, but yeah, since I specifically now have said
And
that she's here,
Even
and
more
Antonio's here.
impressively, it didn't fall apart.
Yeah. But again, specifically since they were both here, I wanted to make sure that we said that.
I agree.
Girl, Sarah does not like this. Sarah is like, no.
Turn it.
She tells him to turn it. He says, nope.
He basically
I like it.
He basically throws the finger up at her.
Well,
He's like,
wouldn't you?
yeah, fuck yeah.
Like, we're in a hotel room. Mom and Dad's gone. Fuck you. You want to
Yes,
take this from
kiss
me?
my
Take
ass.
this from
Come
me.
over
Now,
here.
she is
She
the
does
bigger
try.
sister. Well, she is the bigger sister, so he should have thought about that. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. But then she calls down. She said, fuck it. I'm
I'll
gonna call
get it
my
shut
card
off.
in. Right? She calls down the front desk. Gets goddamn Ted. And Ted's like, I don't even want to deal with this, but whatever. What's wrong?
My computer, she's like, turn the nudie station off. He's like, my computer says
And we
it's
see it.
not on.
We see
yeah,
it.
he shows
It's not
the
even one of those, like, the
Glitch-
computer definitely said it was
glitch in
off.
the system, I guess.
Or it's not in, again, it was just bra and panties.
Yeah, she wasn't naked.
was
She's
on-
overreacting.
That's
fair.
cable TV. That's not nudie
Yeah.
channels. I've seen. I don't think we
There was
saw
worse on
anything-
Star Trek.
Don't get me
man.
wrong, there was a stripper pole, but that doesn't mean that we were ever going to see actual naked titties.
No, you got to
This
go.
isn't the witch's room. All right,
I mean, Wild Wild West, you get a nice shot of her ass.
but this isn't the witch's room.
Yeah.
We're in a new room right now.
No witch's room, no titties. There's kids here.
Exactly. This is a room about children. This is the
As much as the like 8-year-old boy would
This
have
is-
probably liked it.
This is the proto Spy Kids room.
It really
We're not
is.
going there.
They look so much like fucking Junie
Well,
and the
a little
girl.
bit, but yeah,
I can't remember her name.
yeah, a little bit, but yeah, they definitely give the vibe.
They
off, for
really
sure.
do.
And it's Antonio Banderas as their dad.
Can't help it.
Right?
You
Like,
can't
when-
help it.
It's right there. It's in your face.
You're waiting for them to like pull out spy gadgets and
It's
shit.
the only thing that doesn't happen, but they pull out some
I
shit
want
where it almost
thumbs.
well, they pull out some shit where it almost feels like that's gonna happen in the movie
Right.
still. Yeah, so while he's on she finally gives up on the conversation with the guy. She takes her socks off, right? She
and starts smelling her feet because there's something.
No, this was so
stinks.
funny. Because she got mad because he kept saying the channel's definitely dead. He says, "Did he say I'll check?" He says I'll check later.
Yeah.
right? Like when I gotta come check on
When I
you.
go
I'll
check
look.
on you, I'll look.
But I'm telling you, it's off. Yeah, she takes her socks off. This is insane. She takes her socks off. She throws them down close to him. He kind of smells it and turns
Your
around.
feet
They
are-
both smell it, and they're
Your
both kind
feet
of like.
stink.
And she's like, "It's not mine." She wished just like him, but more hardcore. Her foot is literally like toes in her
It's
nostril.
yeah, it's like just stick your pinky toe right up
It
there.
was insane how far up her
My feet
foot.
don't stink. See here, you come smell.
He should have seen.
How do you
this
fall for this
coming.
shit, man?
How do you fall for this? It's like it was his first day having an older sibling.
Right.
I don't even have an older sibling.
I do.
And I know.
I knew exactly what was up. I was like, no, kid, that's a trap. Don't even.
Kid, and of course he gets exactly what we all expect.
She kicks him right in the face, and she gets
Oh,
possession
she
of the
kicks him
remote.
good.
He
too.
takes a hell
He
of a
was
bump
laid
like
out for a
across the
second.
room.
He was laid out. She gets the remote and puts the cartoons on before he sits back up.
But he shakes it off pretty quick because he stands up and he's like, hey, champagne.
Yeah.
Well, get a bottle opener. And she's like, yeah, all right.
But she starts looking, well, double moment too, right? She looks through the drawer, finds a syringe, but she had already started the phone call, right? It was one of those weird things. Like she called the front desk because she was going to ask, I guess, him for a bottle opener. Like he wasn't going to instantly be like, oh, I left the champagne. You know what I mean? Like instantly he would have known why they needed that. But she starts looking through the drawers, I guess, in hopes of finding one. I don't really understand.
And gets this giant fucking needle. That's a turkey-basted
needle. It's the
needle.
Pulp Fiction syringe.
Oh,
dude.
fuck, it is, isn't it?
The whole time I'm watching this scene, I'm just like, God damn, the Tarantino Rodriguez camaraderie here, because that is 100% the Pulp Fiction syringe, dude.
Because it's fucking gigantic.
Right? Yeah, she pulls out, again, if you need the visual, the Pulp Fiction syringe. And in a child's hand looks even fucking bigger. And she's like, what is this thing?
Your cleaning ladies suck. They need to come in here and
talking about.
There's needles and shit all over the place.
You're crazy. There's
Don't bother me.
Don't lie. Again, I'll be up there when it's time to put you to bed. All right? And then she's just like, she hangs up. Kid was shaking.
Fucking little boy shaking the fucking champagne. Well, that's right.
Before the hang up. So Ted is a moron because he won't believe anything.
No.
Because before the phone call is actually over, the bottle blew up, and she even says, "Oh, my brother exploded the champagne everywhere, all over everything." And Ted just still was like,
"Shut up,
whatever,
leave me the fuck alone."
Kid takes a big swig. I was like, "Damn, all right."
These kids are hardcore, man.
Sneaks off to the bathroom. This is when he finds the cigarettes, right? This is when
comes back smoking another cigarette from fucking
and you're
nowhere.
Like, God damn, what? While he's smoking the cigarette, the little sister looks over at him and is like, "Give me 3 numbers."
30 or 409.
I was right to say, think about it.
They're in 309.
Yeah. Well, plus, we already know it's on the 4th floor. This is the magical moment where we get the confirmation, that room 409 was actually 404 like we thought.
Yep.
And we see the other side of the phone conversation that happened while Ted was in the room with Siegfried. And it's this little girl.
And she's just like,
"Oh, this was insane.
Do you have any needles in your room? Because I got a needle in my room, and I just wanted to know if that was like a thing for the hotel.
Like, is that complimentary for all of us?
Right? Or is it just us? Because no, there's no needles here. Just a really big fucking gun.
Gambino.
Ciao, bambino.
It was so, yes.
Dude. Like, that connects.
It's so good to see both sides. But again, like I said, it is the only time that you actually find out it's room 409. Because even drunk Theodore, the real Theodore that was supposed to go there, said 404.
Yeah.
He's the guy who kept getting it wrong.
It's just stuck in his head, I guess.
I don't know. Well, at that point, it's because Ice Guy said 404 5 times. So he
just repeated it.
Drunk Theodore was the one who was right. Remember, he said 409, and the guy was like, no. And started saying 404 again. So Drunk Theodore was correct.
He's the only smart one.
Exactly. But at some point, he started listening to the other guy and was like, it's room 404. But yeah, this was our confirmation, 409, which again also means it's the room right above them.
Which means 309.
The drunk guy party is one floor above that. So
currently, Ted is upstairs.
Yes.
Unable to help with anything.
Well, luckily they don't need him right now.
Yeah, they don't need him right now.
Luckily. We're good.
They're just going to play a little game of darts, right? She goes and gets her mom's lipstick and starts drawing the dartboard on the painting.
Yeah, this is the dartboard with the needle. This is insane.
She's sitting there, she's been like, this is 10 points, this is 20 points, and she gets like halfway through it, and fucking little bro just throws the thing right at her freaking face.
This was the scene that made me feel Addams Family. This was
'Cause she
Pugsley and
doesn't
Wednesday.
flinch.
She doesn't flinch. He threw it without a care in the world. He
It's like
wasn't
an
worried
inch-
about
it's like
hitting
an inch
her.
from her
Yes,
face.
This was the confidence of Wednesday and Pugsley,
Yeah.
right? Like they do dangerous shit, but they know they're not going to hurt the other
Yeah,
one
she's
all
just
the
like,
time.
hey, let me finish first before you start.
And so again, I still stand by. Like I feel like Robert Rodriguez could make the sickest fucking Addams Family
Why
movie.
doesn't he? Can we
Because
petition
Burton
that?
took over doing that
Oh,
stuff. That's
yeah,
who's doing the
that's
show now.
right.
Come on,
I
now.
like Tim Burton, but I don't think he needs to do that. Give me another Batman.
Ted finally shows up.
Oh yeah,
there.
Ted shows
Ted
up
finally
right
shows
when
up.
right when she's about to throw the needle and shit,
Yes.
and the door opens and it's like
It's
needle
bedtime.
and cigarette fucking like fly
Yep.
off screen.
It's bedtime now.
He brings them milk and cookies.
No, he doesn't.
But he said he was going to.
He brought them milk.
He did. It's probably fucking skim milk, this fucking
It's
bastard.
probably one day off milk
It probably is.
because
Powdered. It's powdered milk.
Because instead of cookies, he
Fucking
brought them
saltines.
stale saltines.
saltines.
Holy
Dip
shit.
them in the milk. It
It
will
make-
soften them.
Oh my god! And the kids are like, "This is
Go fuck
insane.
yourself.
I don't like this." And he's like, "Get the fucking bed."
Yep,
right?
go
Like,
to
he's just
bed.
like,
And
"We're
to
done."
make sure.
And then they're like, "But we're still in our regular clothes. California's got earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
You
Deal
want to be
with
ready
it.
for an earthquake,
You
don't
don't, want, you don't want to fucking have to run outside in your underwear.
Yeah, dude, he had an answer for everything. And then he goes, "You guys want to hear a story? Yeah, you can take over. You tell him the story." This is
Hey,
so-
this sadistic fuck. He's like, I had a babysitter at one point, and to make sure that I stayed in bed, she would take fucking like Vicks vapor rub and wipe it on his eyelids. And while he's telling the story, he is actively doing this.
Now the really crazy part is he said she would put a thin layer. That's exact words he said.
he's
He
globbing
globs it. This shit was like balls, like
It was
mountains of
thick.
it.
He's just globbing it on their poor
And he's
eyelids.
like, yeah. He's like, now you can't open your eyes
So if you stay asleep all night, it won't bother you.
because the menthol will have
It'll wear
evaporated
off.
out by morning. But if you
Did
open
you
it
ever
before,
open your eyes? Yes. Now
That's
look at me now. We can't. Exactly.
I just love that his story time rolled right into his punishment
Exactly.
for the children. And he does though. That is it. There's no special anything there.
No.
He literally just walks out having evilly punished
Dude, that
these
is some
children.
fucked up shit.
And that's it. But then the fireworks start going off for
And it-
midnight, right?
Yeah, and
It's-
it wakes the girl up, and she's just like sitting there. It's kind of creepy. She's got her
it's
eyes
super
shut.
creepy. The way
She's
she shot up
looking
in the dark,
around.
eyes closed. But she
Because again, like I said earlier, little girl is clever. She just goes to the bathroom and washes her
she
eyes.
stumbles her way into the bathroom perfectly, washes her face, jumps back on the bed, king of the world, right?
Yeah,
She turns it to
She has like a
cartoons.
bottle of fucking like vodka or
Wait,
something.
So we'll get there. She jumps on the bed, she turns her cartoons on, then she reaches for, I think it was gin. Gin is usually in green bottles like that,
yeah,
like Tanqueray. Tanqueray.
they had a point of like keeping the label
Yeah, I
pointed
know.
away.
But I know specifically Tanqueray is usually in a green bottle with a red lid,
Yeah,
and that was a green bottle with a red lid. So I don't
Could've
know
been.
it was, but they also strike me as the kind of people that might have been kicking back some gin in the room with their kids,
yeah, it makes sense.
right? Like that's a fancier
The
drink.
fancier
You know,
gin.
make it a gin and tonic or something in your room. Either way, she was kicking back something, and it's something that we do quickly find out is
Is
at least
flammable.
alcoholic enough to be flammable, which
Yeah.
means 151, right?
Yeah,
Or
at
higher.
least
So
it's got to at least be like 45 proof before it'll light.
So it's pretty strong, and she's kicking it back. Dude.
She's
And
just-
she
and
makes
like
a
it-
funny face at first. She was like,
ugh.
but then she was just like,
Oh,
all
that's
right.
fine. Yeah, it's totally good.
While it's going on, the little
Her-
brother wakes up. Wancho goes.
you watching cartoons? Yeah, if you want to, you better go wash your fucking face.
And he's like, how am I supposed to? Stumbles off the bed.
Walks into the wall.
My
and
God,
shit.
she
Be
starts
careful.
laughing at him. It was so good.
Watch that first step.
Now is that moment though, right?
She smells something.
And she realizes, wait a minute, Ted threw all of our shit off the bed.
So is it the booze? I like how she smelled the booze first, and then her feet, and then she grabs her brother's feet, and smells it and stuff. He's like, "What are you fucking doing?" She's like, "I smell something."
And it's not our feet.
it is not
I'm pretty
us.
sure.
You could probably edit this out. I want to point out Dead bodies don't fucking smell like goddamn feet.
Oh, it's okay, dude. I know. In all fairness,
Bothered the hell out of me.
in all fairness, we also don't know how long this one had been there.
It looked like a while.
Well, that's my point of reference. You're only going. Your only point of reference right now is one that's a little bit fresher. Maybe the smell is not as strong.
She hasn't. She was just killed.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so that's all I'm getting at, and that will be edited.
Yeah.
People don't need to know the trauma you've dealt with, but I'm just saying, like, keep in mind that your trauma is a very specific one, and we don't have that reference.
She
yet.
wasn't in there for 3 days with the heat on.
Yeah, we have no reference. Well, for all we know, she's been there for 3 months. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
fair.
we have no point of reference. She could have been slightly mummified under the bed that
That's
way,
true.
and so the smell might have been.
I've seen bones.
So you get
Weird
what?
shit
Yes,
can happen.
it happens. So that's all I'm getting at. We don't know enough to know how strong, faint, or not this smell might have been.
It's fair.
I will at least agree with you. I think the smell would have been nowhere near feet. I don't know if I would agree that it would be super strong. We don't know enough.
Yeah.
I do think it would be different than feet.
Because Asiago cheese.
Yes. No, feet is a almost pleasant. You know, it's on the cusp of.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's
Because
kinda,
again, you can smell it in cheese
it
and still
smells
be
like
oh,
bad
that's
feet or good cheese.
Yeah, exactly. and be okay with the fact that you know that, right? Like you can be saying, okay, either way.
Yeah, it's a nice Stilton.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the point though that they do uncover. We have to get back on track.
Yeah.
So the edit was we hadn't told them the surprise yet. So
Yeah.
we need to. Yeah, so she quickly realizes the smell is coming from the bed. And she pushes this mattress off, and it is
a dead hooker, I guess.
crazy.
And the guy who killed her took the time to like wire cut the fucking baseboard bed frame
Oh
out.
no, and cut out a
and
shape.
cut like
to
a
put her in.
shape for her.
Like the game show, you know, where they
yeah,
stand
where like
and
the
move through the hole. Yeah,
where you
it
have to
looked
jump through the
like that
hole?
in a bed in the box spring.
yes.
With the other
So you know
mattress
you
on
had to
top.
like remove springs and
Yes.
shit.
It was a lot of work, but this dude did it. She immediately calls. I will give her credit. She immediately calls down to the front desk.
Yeah.
But Ted, this is like the boy who cries wolf, right? Like Ted was like, I don't
Go to
believe you.
sleep. I am so done with you fucking people.
Well, no, and she's like, we found a dead body, and he instantly goes, but you can't because
You
the
have-
shit's in your eyes, so you can't see anything.
So go to bed. I washed it off.
You what?
What, you never thought to do that when you were a kid? And you could just tell by the look on his face that
No.
he did not.
Yeah, he had this look like he's literally about to cry.
Like,
no.
I'm so stupid. I could have just done that.
And then she's like, well, I'm telling you right now, though, I can see, and there's definitely a dead woman in my room, and she stinks, and you need to fucking get up here and deal with it.
If you don't, I swear to God, my dad will lay you down right next to you. I swear to fucking God. And just then hangs up the phone.
And Ted's, again, he still doesn't believe her. He still
There better be a body
Yes,
up there,
he's-
or I will make
he's-
one.
storms off so mad, but then looks up at the front door, and who's walking in?
It's mom and dad.
It's the man and his wife. And
She is out.
no, the
He
man
is
is
carrying
yes,
this
she is-
bitch.
might as well be a corpse herself,
Right?
right?
But still holding on to that bottle.
And so Ted realizes I gotta fucking get up there.
I love this.
Dives into the elevator.
Dives in the elevator.
Goes up the floor. So again, he's technically lucky because I feel like Antonio Banderas could have beat him going up the stairs. But
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas was like, "I'll wait for the elevator.
It's fine.
I'm carrying my wife.
I'm
I'll wait
carrying
for the
her.
elevator."
I'll wait.
But so he gets the extra couple of seconds, but he makes it up to the room and is at first, well,
It's because they
comedy of errors before he
the
even gets in
kid-
there.
The boy is sitting there, he's smoking a cigarette, and
The
he's
girl
he's
is-
like, cover it up.
Well,
So they push the mattress back.
And the girl, as Ted opens the door, the girl has got the bottle tipped straight up in the
like
air.
you would. That's stressful. You need a drink.
The boy is smoking, again, trying to cover up the smell.
He
It's
walks in-
rational when you think about it.
Yeah, but when he walks
crazy
in, all
to
he
open the
sees is
door.
like two little kids drinking and smoking.
and no dead body
And
because
no
they
dead
put
body
the
because they
mattress
covered
back
the
on.
mattress back up.
And so he's still like, "You're fucking lying. That's not
Smacks
true."
the cigarette
Yes.
out of the kid's mouth.
Lands on the floor, close to the bottle that's also spilled. We need to talk about
Mm.
this. It's setting up something.
Here in a minute.
Uh,
What does alcohol do when it's introduced to fire?
he starts telling this girl, he's still like, "You're fucking wrong. You're insane."
Check under the bed.
And yeah, exactly. She's finally like, I'm telling you right now, just move the mattress.
At first he's like, no, I don't need to and stuff. So she grabs it and yanks it and he pulls it out and he immediately vomit talks. What the
It
fuck?
was so
What
insane
the
to
fuck
watch.
is
Someone give me the phone. I gotta call the police.
Calls the police. I have a dead whore.
The girl, Sarah, don't call her that.
There's a dead hole. There's a hole that's dead in the mattress. I need the police right now.
And then she says one more time.
Don't call her that.
And then he doesn't for a minute. I'll give him credit. But then he randomly gets upset again while talking.
Yeah.
And he says, dead whore, one more time. And Sarah was done. She grabbed the only thing she had at her disposal,
which was the giant Pulp Fiction needle,
which at this point has been God knows where, pricked her finger, and is now going into his leg. The diseases passing around right now are insane.
Are fantastic.
But yeah, so he's now stabbed in the leg.
Sick after
so this is great because now we have him hopping around
with a needle in his leg.
She's still drinking the booze that she has picked back up off the floor now.
Little homie has found another cigarette.
Their first cigarette has caught fire on
to the
floor.
gin on the floor.
And there is a dead body in view because they did not cover it up again.
And to keep from falling over, he grabs the dead hooker's leg and he has the fucking
right at this moment, the door opens
fantastic.
to the man and the wife, and the man is just like watching the chaos. The kid, the icing on the cake.
I love it. He looks from each one.
Wancho takes the cigarette,
throws it behind him,
and the flames
whoosh
get bigger. It's so good.
Did they misbehave? And he's just standing there with a needle in his hand, holding a dead hooker, fire, and a little girl with a liquor bottle about to bash him in the head. And again, little dude has come up with another cigarette, even though he has thrown the cigarette behind him again. Just for that last little still frame scene is so fucking. This was my favorite room.
Critics all said the same thing.
I agree.
This was the room. This is the story. You know,
I was rolling laughing.
This could have been a full movie just about what was going on in this story.
Oh my god.
Critics also, and a lot of people in general, also say Rodriguez did the most useful work with Tim Roth.
Yes,
as a character.
Like so
Ted the
funny.
Bellboy got used
the best. Yeah, the best here. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the end of that room.
We're on the last bit.
So yeah, we are in the last room. I don't know if the placard, did it say penthouse or did it just tell us the name of the story?
Hang on. I wrote it down.
Like, I know the name of the story is The Man from
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
It's the penthouse.
Does it say penthouse too
in
the placard? I couldn't remember if it said penthouse. But yeah, this is The Man from Hollywood, which is a great name, very fitting because again, right, that's
basically
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the movie that Tarantino just put out, right? Like,
yeah, it is.
It's again, this is a very Tarantino without Tarantino realizing this early in his career
himself.
how Tarantino this is. Again, Rodriguez and Tarantino, I don't know enough about the other two directors to say if theirs really show off like exactly who
how
they are. But goddamn, Rodriguez
these two
and Tarantino
are easy to spot.
For this being 95 and this being early on in their directing careers, the amount of things that are just like now calling cards for the two of them that are already present is insane. And on that, this is the best segue into Tarantino's. Again, maybe not the best, like we've already said, Rodriguez's is the best. Tarantino's obviously
it's
the
still
second
super
best,
fun.
And it's super fun, but definitely the most Tarantino.
It is basically Tarantino putting himself over a little bit.
Of things that he doesn't do for a while, right? Like this is snippets of Spy Kids, which he won't do this for
like
years.
10 years.
So again, this is like foreshadowing Rodriguez. This is literally just like this is the highlights of Tarantino being Tarantino. This is so I enjoy this.
This is my room. I'm going to spend the next 40 minutes or so putting myself over and all of my cool shit that I like.
No, I remember I told you this, that I felt like this room was longer, but I actually today kind of tried to like really pay attention. They are all roughly 20 minutes. Like when you take out the in-between stuff and the credits, it's really roughly 20 minutes a room. But his does, I guess maybe just the style he does stuff, it feels longer. Because the way he does things, the spacing and timing.
The way the story I'm telling goes around the world, it's the journey that's important.
Pretty much. I think that's a great segue into what happens here. So but the beginning of this isn't even in the room.
No,
right?
he is quitting.
Ted's fed up. He just left the room that he was on fire. He just got stabbed.
Yeah.
Everything we just told you.
He is done. He's calling
left.
his boss. Kathy. Or Betty.
Betty. Played by Kathy.
Played by Kathy Griffith.
Yeah. This was so great, though, because before we get her,
we get Margaret. I love Margaret.
Did you know who that was?
I didn't. I recognized her, but I don't know her name.
That's Marissa Tomei.
Oh, is it?
That's fucking my cousin Vinny.
Ah, yeah, it is.
Smoking weed,
playing fucking Rambo 3 on the Sega with those two other chicks.
They randomly switched to scenes from the Nintendo.
I saw that. It switched to the Nintendo Rambo. Like halfway fucking through. But the first one.
I'm sure it won't be as jarring to people who aren't
nerds.
Us, but goddamn, it was jarring because I was like, when did the Nintendo turn on?
Yeah, like NES fucking Nintendo. They're holding Sega controllers.
Yes, well, and it
the
started
first
off
game was the third one. Sorry, it's not important.
No, they definitely show both.
No, fuck you. It's very important.
It is very important.
Continuity.
They definitely show both.
Tarantino should have knew better,
but he didn't.
Should have. He's a pop culture guy. He should have known that.
Well, at this time, they were still like questioning how in the zeitgeist these gaming things would be.
The angry video game nerd isn't a thing.
How long it was actually gonna hang around? You know.
These Nintendos are just a fad,
right? We'll stop talking about people. We have no idea if that's anybody's actual opinion. We do care about games, so we're gonna make sure you understand this. Yeah. So he speaks forever to Margaret, trying to find Betty. Margaret clearly says she knows Betty.
Yeah, I know her.
I'm just here at her house.
I'm just at her house.
Over. But then when he finally gets fed up, because she starts telling her what's been going on, right? I love when he tells her the first room.
That sounds like a pretty good night.
And he
Teddy.
goes, well, okay. I mean, I guess that was the only good part of the night.
I did get laid and I got $50, but the rest of the night was just complete weirdness. This dude put the gun in my face. What kind of gun was it, Teddy?
This was the funny part that I
So was it like a Dirty Harry gun? Like a did it have a short barrel or a long barrel?
This was so funny because she says 44
or a 357.
And then he comes back with it's not a 392.
I don't know if it's a 357 or a 392 or whatever the fuck.
He said 44.
Or 44 and a 392.
44 or a 392. And I was like, I love you right now.
That's very British of him. They wouldn't know.
Right now for that. That was so great. And she was just like, do you just want to skip over this one too, Ted?
Yes, I would like for you to tell me where Betty is so I can talk to
her.
Exactly.
And so she finally was like, okay. And then she proves that she was lying this whole fucking time because she does not know who Betty is.
Betty doesn't know who she is because she's like, anybody here named... Wait, what's her name again? Betty. Betty?
No, Betty knew who she was. Betty was just passed out on the couch right beside her this whole time. Betty shoots up when she finally hears her name the third time and goes, What? That's me. This is my apartment.
This is Ted.
Who? It's for you.
It's for you.
And Ted does not he was already tired of talking to goddamn Margaret, and he hadn't got to the worst room yet.
Nope.
And so he just
immediately his accent changed here.
He went goddamn.
This is his real voice. I feel like
he went gutter trash.
He went complete cognate. He's like, how's my night, Ben? Well, let me fucking tell you.
Yeah.
I had these two miscreant little kids and this Mexican gangster dude who's going to kill me.
The best part is he doesn't even say, let me tell you. He says, let me tell you about the last room. To specify that the whole night's been shit. But the last one, just let me tell you one room.
This one. This is good enough for me walking away right now.
She hears all of that and she's like, okay. He's like, I'm leaving. Right? The last thing he says is, all this has happened, and this is
there's
happening.
Me. I'm walking out the fucking door right now.
As he's saying it, the penthouse starts ringing.
Is that the penthouse? Why, yes, it is.
I don't.
His accent switched back again. He went back to proper.
Fucking care that it is, but yes, it is.
Okay, you really need to deal with that guy. He's what was his name? Chester
something. I didn't catch
Chester
his last
something.
Name. Because once
he's
you
the
get to
most
the room,
important
you never
client
hear the last name again,
in the entire hotel.
Back in the day, she then gives a history lesson. She's like, back in the day, we were really big in Hollywood, blah 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 blah, blah and we fell out. But now we're starting to come back,
and it's because
this guy
of
is him, and he's going to do it for us. So you got to take care of him.
The whole hotel staff is begging you. After you deal with him, you can leave. That's fine.
I don't care. I want to say, Ted. I've already said it once. I'll say it again. Ted better men than me.
Yeah, I would have said fuck you.
Ted says, okay.
Yep.
I'll at least go see what they need. But again, What we don't see, because we find out once he gets up there, is he does call them and handle what they needed first. No questions asked.
Goes and gathers up all the shit that they need.
Goes up to the room. As soon as he gets up to the room, now is where it's Tarantino.
Yep,
this is
immediate
instantly
shift.
Tarantino. We instantly go POV style from the guy walking into the room. Long pan shots across the room as we get introduced to people.
A lot of oneers,
right?
Like one shots.
I absolutely adore this.
The cameraman literally just like wandering around the room and shit.
But the first thing we have to address before that, though, who opened the door?
That's a good point.
Scared the living piss out of him and a little bit me.
I wasn't expecting her.
Angela.
She's
from room 2.
What the fuck are you doing here? And then follow up. Siegfried's not in there, is he? He's like, no, he's passed out. He'll sleep till fucking Christmas. You see how many pills that guy was eating?
Also, the crazy naked hookers.
Oh, yeah. They're like, get the hell out of here, you skanks.
You were right about the thing I was thinking of, but I also remembered that there were crazy hookers running past as he got to the door.
I wonder what they did.
I don't know.
Probably nothing, knowing these fucking assholes.
Yeah, so then once he's in the room, though, once he's actually inside, Ted starts looking around. Is POV. Tarantino
shot.
is being a character.
Tarantino, again, full coke, ready to go. Just gonna start going a mile a minute.
Going on about crazy pop culture stuff and beverages, right?
Cristal.
What? No, he asks him. He says, "What do you think about that? What do you think about that tasty beverage?"
It's good.
It's fucking good.
It's fucking great. It's Cristal. It's fucking Cristal.
While it's going on, though, we also hear off in the distance the dude yelling, "Bellboy! Bellboy!" The minute that happened, I got such is this supposed to be like a Hunter S. Thompson story feel? Like, it was so muffled in front. It felt like the lawyer from
a little bit.
Fear and Loathing. I was like, what is happening right now? But yeah, this is when it gets super Tarantino, because after the Cristal
this goes on for like 15 minutes.
And this is when we officially get the spin
around
the room,
spin
right?
Camera
where it's like,
shit.
First we're gonna meet Norman.
Here's Norman.
No, first it's Angela.
But you already know Angela.
Then it's Norman. Here's Norman. Norman's just a dude. He's disgruntled. He sounds angry. Everything he says sounds angry.
Fucking Jim Beam. I'm like, we could get this guy some better bourbon. Fuck.
We're drinking champagne. It's Cristal. When you drink Cristal, you gotta say Cristal.
If you're drinking champagne, you say champagne. All right. I feel like this is Tarantino in real life.
But like I said, Norman though is always just that guy. Norman's that guy who's just like angry and trying to like defend his position angrily all the time to the insanity that is Tarantino. Then we get Leo. Leo is just a guy, Bruce Willis.
Motherfucking Bruce Willis.
Because it's Tarantino.
Completely uncredited.
Because it's Tarantino.
Yeah. He's not in the credits anywhere.
Oh, no, I know this. I found this out while looking up facts about the movie. Bruce Willis is in the movie. He got sued by the Screen Actors Guild because he was Listen, he did this movie uncredited and he wasn't supposed to because he's in enough of it. And so, or no, there's something. He didn't get paid.
Too many lines.
No, he didn't get paid. And you have to get paid when you do this kind of work. And he was just doing it as a favor to Tarantino. And so the Screen Actors Guild said, well, that's fine. As long as you do this uncredited, we're fine with the fact that you did this for no money. That's why Bruce Willis is here.
Is there like a cap on how much money? I mean, Tarantino could have gave him $1.
I don't know, but I'm just telling you right now.
I got paid $1.
That's what it was. That's why he's here uncredited, because that was his punishment from the Screen Actors Guild for not taking money for the role.
I mean, I get the importance of the Screen Actors Guild. Y'all got to protect your fucking gimmicks, but let's not be assholes here. He was doing a favor. If
a guy decides to do it himself.
Yeah, if he decides to do a favor,
let him sign a waiver and move on.
Yeah, sign the contract. I don't get paid. It's not going to come back on you guys.
Okay, let's get back on topic, though. But yeah, so Leo is Bruce Willis. He's just a man for the first half of this. Is just arguing with his wife
on the phone.
We'll constantly get random cuts to him, and it's just him in the room, barely acknowledging people, yelling at his wife.
I'm not the one yelling. You're yelling.
Well, the only part I'll point out now, because it's been a fixation the whole movie, is the money, right? The tip. He was about to get a tip from goddamn Leo.
Yeah, because Leo's is like, and they're like, hey,
and
here's
Chester
the bellboy.
Cuts him off.
No. It's the bellboy, the one we called like 25 minutes ago. He brought all the cool stuff.
No, I want to say he doesn't say that yet. He just says it's the one, almost like that's why we don't give him the money because it's been 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But then we see how much shit he had to find, and I'm like, fuck you, 20 minutes sounds very reasonable for the weird shit.
Yeah, let Leo give him a fucking tip.
This is when Chester finally fully introduces himself, right? He's like, I'm Chester. You know me, of course. And
I did the like, wacky detective.
Well, before he even says the name at first, he just says who he is. And the dude, like, Ted's looking at him like, oh, okay. And that's when he goes, you know, the wacky detective. Everybody knows. I mean, I'm pretty famous. He's also
Lots of people saw that movie.
He starts looking at Norman. He yells to Leo. Leo is the financials guy because he's the one who knows the numbers.
What was the last take on Domestic?
Right?
$72.1 million.
And again, literally, he's still sitting there like, I don't know that movie.
I've not seen it.
Not me. I don't know that one.
Probably not going to see it.
This is we get the other Cristal moment, right? He kicks it back. This is flat.
Who didn't cork this bottle? This shit's expensive. I give and I give and I give, and you ought to give a shit.
Decadence that is going on here because he then just gets rid of that.
Immediately pops the bottle,
and we hear both Leo and Norman. Leo from a room not even involved with them, while still yelling at his wife, going, "Do I need to open up more?" And Norman being like, I got a bottle right here. I can just pop a cork.
Who opened this one? Because I was drinking that one over there. There's not one fucking
bubble
left in this.
Again, the decadence. The point of the fact that they had
like
2
5
to 3
bottles of these open.
And they had more.
And then we're going to pop
open.
another one. Because we got to replace that one.
He can't even see it, right? Like, he doesn't see the level of decadence that we got going on.
This was my favorite camera shot in the entire thing. It makes like a weird figure 8 because we start in the front of Quentin Tarantino, and then the camera guy shoots around back behind him while he's opening the bottle, and then Tarantino makes a big turn, and it comes. It's super cool how they did the blocking for this whole scene.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
That's old school Tarantino. Like, think of like Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
And like, yeah, you know, like he'd like to do a lot of weird camera trickery for normal scenes.
Side note: as soon as I finished this movie, I had to watch Reservoir Dogs.
I don't blame you.
Immediately,
the vibe is the same. It's that era of Tarantino for sure. This is when he also opens the new bottle, right? Mentioning the new movie, The Dog Catcher. That's a sequel to The Wacky Detective.
It's supposed to make $100 million.
He also spits all of the champagne on the floor.
As soon as he opened it, he tried to take
the Cristal.
Yeah, it's Cristal. He's very particular. It's because he's tried to take a swig as soon as he popped the fucking cork. He didn't let it breathe.
Then this is when he tells us, let's finally look at what he brought.
Yeah, show us all the stuff.
Let's go over here. And they drag Ted to the other side of the room. Ted goes, okay, I've got everything. I wrote all the specifics down. We have 1 wood cutting block. Tiny.
Yep, little cutting board.
3 nails.
Why?
That's how many Peter Lorre asked for. I'm going to guess in The Man from the South, not The Man from Rio. They misnamed this Alfred Hitchcock.
They really?
Yes.
Shame
probably
on
knowing
you.
Tarantino on purpose for some reason.
Oh yeah, probably some kind of copywriting bullshit.
But it was The Man from the South is the Alfred Hitchcock, not The Man from Rio. But yes,
I know what he's talking.
Yes,
what they're talking about.
3 Nails is from that skit.
You've probably seen it.
Yeah. Or at least parts of it. Or references to
it. The fucking Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yes. There are lots of references to this. It's a pretty famous one. After the 3 nails, which again, they immediately say were not important,
it's
is
just
a ball of
Peter
twine.
Lorre asked for him.
Well, and the ball of twine is the same. Because again, we never see it again.
Peter Lorre. I would have used it. Tourniquet.
Yes, but they did not. Then we get the next one that's important, bucket of ice.
Can you dig it?
This one has a purpose.
Can you dig it? I dig it. Hell yeah.
Now the funny ones. A donut.
That's for me.
Instantly eaten.
Instantly. Shoved the whole donut in his mouth.
A club sandwich.
Angela, that's
mine. For Angela. Not instantly eaten, but definitely her food taken off to the side.
She's off over there eating it in the corner.
And then lastly, and I know you will have just as many problems with this as I did. Lastly, a hatchet.
That is a goddamn meat cleaver.
Thank you. God damn it. Did it not bother you?
It bothered the
so
piss
bad?
out of me. They kept calling it a hatchet.
Like, if it was referenced that way once, I'd be like, I get it. It was just funny. They needed something sharp.
Yeah. And
but
I get
no,
it.
They
in the Peter Lorre, Steve McQueen, it is a hatchet.
But they specifically multiple times refer to this thing.
They even make a correction. He calls it an axe, and he says hatchet, sir. It's
so,
a fucking meat cleaver.
This is not a hatchet.
Which is better for what they're doing, really.
Yes, because it's a small digit.
Smaller, nice, thinner blade. If you used a hatchet, it's just going to crush bone.
Yes, the very last thing they pulled out was indeed this
meat cleaver.
It is not a hatchet. It's going to bother the piss out of me
Yeah,
every time I see it.
We'll have to move on because if not, me and you being kitchen people will spend all day on why that's not even remote. A hatchet is not a kitchen utensil.
No, it's not.
So crazy.
Though, funnily enough, hacksaw is.
Yeah, for bones.
Yeah, you gotta get through them bones. Or a sawzall, even if you're real high tech.
After everything that was in there gets announced, they were like, "Do you need to verify?" I'll verify how sharp it is. Right? Yep. Ted said, and Norman goes,
"No, I'll do that."
Again, we don't know yet,
but it makes sense after you know. He's like, "No, I'm the one that's about to do this shit. I want to make sure it's sharp.
I want to make sure it can go through,
right? Nice and clean. Don't want to have to go for a second chop."
Then Chester just loudly announces, "Leave the nails and the twine.
We don't
bring
need
everything else over here. We need you." And now's the moment where Leo finally leaves the room. Like, he comes out of the room pissed off, flips the table,
throws his phone because his wife hung up on him, and she's like, "Oh, what the fuck's wrong with that bitch? I treat her like a fucking queen."
He has himself a goddamn conniption
fit. For 3 minutes, just trashes the place.
And then finally calms down, and they're like, Leo, we're about to do that thing.
Oh, my dick is so fucking hard.
He's just like, why didn't you say so? I would have hung up with my wife.
Immediate shift, right?
I would have hung up with my wife an hour ago.
You should have told me forever ago. We could have been done with this.
And so then they're all standing around. Leo, I want to point out before we move on though, before we get to the meat of this.
The meat of the matter.
The last thing Leo said to the group after throwing the phone with his wife was, "What did she want me to do? Drive home drunk? Kill 5 or 6 kids on the way?"
I mean, they're all valid points.
I absolutely love that that's what he had to say, and that it didn't offend anybody. Nobody was like, "Geez, don't talk about killing kids."
Yeah,
they were all just like,
that, man.
Yeah, I guess she's nuts. But yeah, now though we get to the real meat of everything, right?
Why we have this stuff?
Well, we hear Leo goes, "Tell me, Norman,
you're actually going to do this shit. You're going to do this, right?"
And Norman's like, "Yeah,
you're my fucking hero." And then Angela's like, "We all better do it. You've been talking about it all fucking
Angela's
night.
Like, "God,
I want to see a show.
You've wasted 15 minutes of this guy's life just keeping him here."
Tarantino is the guy. The way I tell it is, it's a journey. You go around the world to get to it. It's fine.
But yeah, so they're finally about to tell Ted, right? And I love that for a split second, Ted just stops everything, grabs Chester, pulls him to the background, right? Like, it is not at all the focus.
This is a fun scene because you have like 2 conversations going at the same time.
I love it because, if you listen closely, you can hear faintly what he's yelling at Chester in the background. Yeah. He's just like, "I don't know if you understand what I've been through tonight, but I don't really fucking care what you want to do. As long as it doesn't involve
you all
me,
want to do,
then
that's
do
fine,
you.
But I want to get out of here."
I love it.
Meanwhile, fucking Norman and Leo are just having this normal ass conversation. They're just like, "Man, you're
very
really,
Tarantino.
You're gonna leave that bitch?" He's like, "Yeah, I probably am. Fuck her."
Such a Tarantino calling card, right?
Really
to have like some crazy ass situation, but the normalcy going on.
But it's in the background where most people would have put it in the foreground.
But yeah, so then they finally stop. Leo, they're arguing about who's gonna tell, right? Angela's like, "Just get to the fucking point."
Yeah, we've been here for fucking
Leo
40 minutes.
says, "If you guys will, I'd like the honors." And everybody was instantly,
I second.
They're all like, "Yes, Leo, you
have the floor."
Leo, again, this is the moment where he misidentifies which Alfred Hitchcock. This is not the man from Rio. This is the man from the South. But he references, he's like, "Have you ever seen you've seen the Hitchcock?
Yeah, you've seen the Hitchcock
where the guy
thing.
lights the lighter, blah, 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 blah." So our good man Norman here has decided that he would like to complete in the same bet. He is going to light his cigarette lighter 10 times. If it lights all 10 times, he wins, keeps his finger. If he loses, finger's gone. But the extra kicker, if he wins, he gets
Chester's 1968. I'm not saying what kind of red.
Chevelle. Yes,
Chevelle.
No. They only say that once, and that was in
it's
the heat
Tarantino. He's got to get one in, right?
That was in the heat of the argument.
Yeah,
from Norman, the one person allowed to say.
I'm going to say cherry red.
Yes,
because it's much nicer.
But yeah, it was a Chevelle. It was a nice car.
It was a super nice car.
Was it the magazine? The magazine says it's like
clearly like Photoshop.
The newest director with the oldest car.
It's clearly Photoshopped like a collage of different pictures. It's like a cutout of Tarantino in front of the car doing this.
And again, though, while this is also going on, you can still see the look on Ted's face of
what the fuck?
Why am I here?
Why do I need to be here for this?
Then finally someone mentions well, Ted, we need you to do the deed. And then as this is said, Chester chimes in with the reasons why, right? Chester's like, look, if this goes down the way we think it's going to go down, then the man's lighter works every time perfectly fine. He walks away with a car guilt-free.
Yep,
He's not going to
have any problem about it.
Now, me, on the other hand, I also want to get my fair part of this deal. But I might have a personal misgiving of cutting my friend's finger off.
We're all buddies here, right? And he's like, I'm not like Peter Lorre in that fucking show. I'm not some sick fuck going around just collecting fingers, all right?
All right. So we need someone, Ted.
Impartial Ted.
To be our impartial
Just
judge.
medicine couldn't give a fuck about us, Ted.
Complete stranger who's never seen us and will never see us again, Ted.
We need you to be the dice man.
And
he's just like, no.
Yeah,
nope,
after
I'm
the
out.
night,
Screw
after
that.
the night he's had, he's done. We get the Cristal drink again. This is where we get the official. It's Cristal when you're drinking Cristal. It's champagne if you're drinking other champagne. Which is a weird time to throw that in. Like Ted's already like, I don't know if I like you people. Not the time to be smarmy assholes.
He felt the need to correct Norman. You got to get it right, goddammit. He tries to leave, and fucking Chester's just like, money. How about some money?
Why don't you talk to him? Chester says, give me 1 minute. I just need one more minute.
$100. Whatever you
60 seconds.
say, you get the $100. But if you listen to
leave
me, you can make way more. Right?
You can leave if you want to leave.
I love this.
All I need is 60 seconds of your time. Everybody in the room is just like,
do it.
Give
Take
him 60
the money.
seconds. Come on now.
You're going to make $100
60
regardless, right?
And so we get this beautiful speech,
the
Tarantino.
Pitch with the
he lays down the
$100
first, right? He goes,
this is the money you have. This is the money you could have.
And so we'll put the 100 here. This is definitely yours. No matter what happens, what I do, what you do, this is yours. This is the stack that if you decide to help us out here, Ted,
this could be yours.
And so I'm telling you, and as he's saying it, he's just slapping bills down to the point that he gets to a spot and he goes, I forgot. How many did I put down?
600, everybody.
Okay. Ted, do you know how long it would take the average man to make $600? That's not important.
It's a rhetorical question, Ted.
But my point is that I'm not even finished yet, Ted.
About a hour less than it takes to make 700. Drops
more
more
he just
money
keeps
down.
dropping them down, and finally he wraps it up with 1,000. I don't even understand if he meant it was 100 and 900, or if he meant 100 and that. Because again,
I like to think it was 1,100 altogether.
Yeah, because he gets the 100 no matter what,
right? Plus the 1,000,
right? But again, they just didn't word it clearly.
Added on to like 600 he's already got from the rest of the fucking rooms.
Oh yeah, no, he's made bank.
He's made a shit ton of money tonight.
And so again, the guy is just like, and look, all you need to do, 2 seconds of work.
Yep.
Are you or one? He said 1 second. 1 second of work. Ted, are you going to go down as the guy who turned down $1,000 for 1 second of work, or are you going to go down as the guy who made $1,000 for 1 second of work?
Time 60 seconds is up.
That scene took 1:22. I just want to say
I timed it too. I was like, that's because the first time I watched it, I was like, this is way longer than a minute.
It's 1:22.
It's not like the
it's
scene.
It's not crazy.
It's not like the scene in Doctor Who with the mummy. And it's like it's got like a little timer going, and he does it. I love that scene.
But yeah, this is. I will give you 1:22 is a lot closer than a lot of movies would do this scene. Yeah. It would have been 5 minutes in most movies.
Would've.
So 1:22.
There would have been like multiple jump cuts around.
They did at least try to do it in the minute.
But what do you say, Ted? He just stares for a second.
He says, "Okay,
okay, yeah, let's do
the
this."
same dopey kind of thing that he's been the rest of the movie. Yeah. Okay, and they're like, "Good man, all right. So we're ready to do this. Everybody's got their stuff. This is so insane. How quick again."
This is
all in Tarantino really style, right? Like in Tarantino style, we wasted so much of this story doing
all
nothing,
this other shit,
doing nothing.
Fucking 10 seconds to get to the fucking meat of it.
And literally, they're just like, all right, you ready? All right, Norman, you got your lighter? Norman pulls his lighter out. He goes,
it out here.
Strikes it once, fucking fails. First strike, immediately.
Chop.
There is no
hesitation
There's no
at
time
all.
for your brain to process what's happening. Like, literally, it happens so quick. Because it's just like intercut scene of like failed light, pinky gone. It's so fast. It's so insane. And money gone, right?
Yeah, because he just sweeps the money off the table, rolls it up, and sachets out the fucking door.
I swear we can't see it, but it's that smooth, right? It's the same hand. It's like pinky gone, finger out.
Drops the hatchet with the same hand, just all in one motion, and then is out the fucking door.
And that's our movie, too.
Credits start rolling.
Well, it's our same... Our outro music is our same intro, gibberish. Yeah, the fun. And he's doing a shimmy
right out the fucking
music.
door.
It's almost like breaking the fourth wall. It's like he hears this music we hear.
But it doesn't fade to black.
No.
We get like the remaining carnage of what they're doing in the room.
Tarantino style. This is the moment
While
of,
credits
from Pulp Fiction. It's like the GIMP. It's like after the GIMP when they're outside, but you can still hear the carnage going off inside.
Yes,
it is that moment. It's literally like we hear them all freaking out. We need to get that on ice. Do you know a surgeon? I thought this was going to be easier than this.
I had a surgeon on standby. He like goes and calls and shit. The guy's like, "What do you mean he's in surgery? Who has plastic surgery at 6:30 in the fucking morning? He was supposed to be on call for me."
6:30 in the morning on New Year's Day.
On New Year's Eve,
too.
right?
Come
God
on,
damn. They had to start New Year's resolution. They had to start off with a new face.
Kind of got to say, I agree with him. Who does
that?
All right, guys.
And Angela's just like, "I'm done, you guys. I'm leaving." Shit.
Well, everybody's at that point. The last thing before we wrap it up, I gotta ask, what do you think? Do you think he went back to work the next day? Is he done?
I think he's done. I think he took the like $2,000 he made, said "fuck this crazy building" and bolted.
This brings us back to, we told you guys we'd have a close to running tally for you. Again, if inflation says it's pretty much double, and we'll just say double.
Yeah, just
for our easy. Simple. This man made 1,000 guaranteed, well, 1,100 guaranteed for the pinky.
He took all the money.
Right, so that's 1,100 for the pinky, right?
Yep.
He made 500
from Antonio Banderas,
flat for the kids. If not, I think he might have got tipped when he brought the champagne too, though.
Yeah, that's true. He might have.
So he might have got like 20 extra there.
Another 20. He got 50 from the one witch, and I want to say another 50 from Madonna. So that's like 620 right there.
So we're talking like two.
This guy walked out with like $5,000.
$2,000 that time money.
Yeah, during that time.
$4,000 to $5,000 our time money.
Yeah, I'd call it.
This man could buy himself
a new car.
Or
like
a decent, like what do they call a gently used, or what, you know what I'm talking, like a pre-owned.
There you go.
Certified pre-owned car.
This car has been gently fucked by only 3 people.
It's kind of insane that's how much he made. Like if me personally, if I made that much in one night, I would be very tempted to be like, well, what can I do in 2? You know, I'm not saying it would not be long term, but I might try to ride out at least a
see how much I get in a week.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
Average it out. See how good it is per day after a couple of days.
Work one full pay period till you get a full paycheck.
Because what if this is every night? not in like shit that happens, but like in money.
Yeah,
involved.
in money, like people giving him that amount of tips. Like if it's crazy like that every night, I'm definitely fucking.
Well, I mean,
quitting.
actually, really, minus the misbehaviors
and the gun to the face.
I guess that's a story.
Once I found out it was like a weird sex game, I would have been way calmer.
Well, you know me, I'm all for a story, right?
Like I want to know what's happening here.
Well, I'm all for telling a story. Like if that happens to me, I'm telling that story for the next 20 years. It's always an
interesting story when you have a gun in your face.
So again, I don't know. I'd be in it for the thrill, the story I'd get to tell, and the cash involved. I might have to do a day 2, at least a day 2. That's just me.
I'll give it a week.
Okay.
That's how long I'll do it.
All right, guys. On that note, we are definitely done with this movie. And again, since things are done a little different now, we are both going to be telling you the next beer and the next movie.
Yeah.
We're doing it different now. So, Bo,
take
it away.
Boom. I've got some Warped Wing Brewing Company's Flyer Red American Lager.
I would imagine that means it's a red lager, right? So it's like like a Killian's, like a red.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's dope.
I like Killian's.
I like an American red too, not an Irish red. That's dope. And so I'll let you guys know the movie. Again, I feel like you should get this. Again,
just from the can.
You'll see the picture and it'll have the movie with it. But when you see the can, you're going to
know exactly
the
how we
font
got to
is
it.
there and everything, right? So we're going to do Radio Flyer. We know that's maybe a movie with some touchy subject matter. We've done touchy
I would
before.
say we did a Clockwork Orange without any real issues. We
and again,
PC'd our way through that.
We've got this new format where we're not going in
in
about
detail
the
about
crazy
everything.
stuff, so we can easily skim past some of the parts that we need to skim past. It's just, again, sometimes, like we've told you guys before, sometimes the movie is what we want to do when we find a drink for it. Sometimes we just go in, we see a drink, and we're like, well,
knee-jerk reaction. Sometimes
just slapping you in the
obvious.
face. Yeah, you have to go with the obvious.
It looks like the damn wagon.
It looks like, again, the flyer is the radio flyer font.
Yeah, it's the font even.
So, I mean, you can't get better than that. All right, though, I think we are officially finished on that note.
All right, man. Here, take this knife. I'm going to flick my lighter 10 times. If I fuck up, stab me in the hand. Fuck!
Don't misbehave.
Yes, Papa.